Are there any questions pertaining to the article?
Sir, general question related to 0R and question R.
Yes, sir.
They will be decided by the committees, right?
No, may I beg your pardon, please?
So can you hear me?
Yes, tell me.
General question about the 0R and question R. The timing, will it be fixed to the start of the session or will they be decided by the committee?
It will be decided by the committee, but like if you people want, we can have a informal vote as of now and we can decide.
All right, sir. Follow-up question. Sir, will we be allowed to reply via chats?
Certainly, yes. Chats are your personal mode of communication. Do whatever you feel like doing.
All right, sir.
Yeah. Anything else, anyone?
And so, what medium are we preferring for PO point of orders in point?
Madam, as far as point of order is concerned, we will refer to the chat. Okay, you can directly mention the point of order. Our point of order message should have a certain criteria. You have to categorically mention point of order as the first statement. In the next one, on the speech made by whom, and nextly, because I believe we have fairly around 28, 29. All right, as far as point of order is concerned, we'll be taking point of orders verbally. बाकी जो सब कुछ है वो आप चिट पे लिख के भेजिए. Like if you have any point of information to ask from any person concerned, वैसे तो होता नहीं है, but yet again if you people feel like asking point of information to the person concerned, and lastly you need to mention the question that you are asking. If you believe that it is something very much critical and something very much interesting, and you cannot wait for your speech to come and raise that question there and want us to evaluate you on that, mention via executive board. That's it. Am I clear?
Yeah, just have one doubt.
Yeah, Akhilesh helps out a lot.
Was the lingua franca of the committee English or can we speak Hindi in the speech as well?
Kya?
Is the lingua franca of the committee English or can we speak Hindi in the speeches as well?
Sir, it is a multilingual committee. You can even resort to Marathi if you feel like.
Okay.
All right. But for the betterment of the committee, let's stick to English or Hindi. All right. Any other questions, anyone, before we start with the formal session? Are there any questions as such? Perfect. In that scenario, we start with the formal session then. The formal session of Lok Sabha starts with the Rashtriyan, considering the fact that we are at our respective places. It might not be proper for us to have a Rashtriyan here, so we'll be skipping that, but giving due acknowledgement to that. We move further. As we have discussed earlier, since we have somewhere around 28 odd members, therefore, in such a scenario, we'll be having 8 opening statements as discussed in the ROP sessions. The first opening statement will be made by the Honorable Prime Minister, and the last opening statement is supposed to be made by the Leader of Opposition in the House. That is, as far as Lok Sabha is concerned, Mr. Adhiranjan Chaudhary, but I doubt he is here. Is Mr. Adhiranjan Chaudhary here? With that portfolio, give it to him. Do we have Adhiranjan Chaudhary here? People?
So it does not appear in the participant list.
Portfolio allocated to someone called Agrarian Chaudhary. If not, we'll have another leader of opposition in the House. हाँ जी निर्मला जी फरमाएं.
Sir, Ajay Ranjan Chaudhary had come in that meeting when you were telling about the procedure of Lok Sabha. He was there at that.
I doubt, sir, because मुझे ध्यान नहीं है मेरी कोई बात हुई थी.
But I had seen his name in the participant that time.
Yes, sir, he was there.
Then is someone here who knows him well?
सर कमेटी छोटी है तो क्या हम लोग सभी लोगों की 120 सेकंड की अप्रोक्स ओपनिंग स्टेटमेंट रख सकते हैं?
नहीं सर, जीएसएल नहीं हो पाएगा, सॉरी. We'll be taking 4 from the government side. Obviously, the Prime Minister happens to be the first. And we'll be having 4 from the opposition or the third front for that matter, like non-government portfolios. We'll see.
Sir, if Ajay Ranjan Chaudhary cannot come, we can keep Farooq Abdullah as leader because he is senior also.
Wonderful, sir. That's not my call to make. And certainly not yours too.
That is a question of opposition. Who will be their leader?
All right, Rahul Gandhi, sir.
In case Ajay Ranjan Chaudhary is not available, I was hoping I could make the opening statement as the leader of opposition.
All right, madam. I believe that you happen to be one of the most prominent members of the largest party in opposition. So yeah, let's see. Let's wait for a minute or two. Lay, did you have a word?
Yes, sir. There is no
There exists no Adhiran Chaudhary. Therefore, all right. Do we have any Sonia Gandhi in the house? No. Cool. Then Rahul Gandhi sir, would you like to be the leader of opposition in the house, or are you nominating someone else from your party? Because all right, sir. Thank you. So we'll be having Mr. Rahul Gandhi, the Honorable Member of Parliament from Wayanad, to be the leader of opposition, or rather leader of the largest party in opposition. Yes.
Speaker sir, before
Yes, sir.
can you please take the roll call? It is required for.
हाँ अरे यार चालू थोड़ी कर दी दादा.
अच्छा, I thought you were giving him the speaking.
मैं समझा नहीं मतलब.
I thought you were giving him the speaking times.
अरे चलो ठीक है कोई नहीं. So that being said and done, सर रोल कॉल की मेरे पास शीट होनी चाहिए ना.
Sir, I have it. I can
Go ahead, ma'am.
Please answer President. Narendra Modi. Shri Narendra Modi. Sorry, I'm facing network issues. Shri Narendra Modi.
Present and voting.
Shri Rajnath Singh.
अरे सुनो 1 मिनट. भाई साहब अपन MUN नहीं कर रहे हैं, ठीक है. There exists no present and voting. There exists only present और abstain. और ये तो वैसे भी प्रोसीजरल आपका रोल कॉल वाला वोट है, तो इसमें तो एब्सटेन का अपॉर्चुनिटी भी नहीं होता, ठीक है. तो अगर आप हैं तो इट विल बी सिंपली प्रेजेंट. वोट करना है नहीं करना है वो आवर इंडियन पार्लियामेंट हैज गिवन यू द लिबर्टी कि आप आखिरी मिनट तक उठ के जा सकते हैं, और कभी ऐसे कुछ कृत्यों से सरकारें तक गिरी है भारत में. तो लेट इट बी. कैन वी स्टार्ट द रोल कॉल अगेन प्लीज? सॉरी फॉर द ट्रबल. थैंक यू.
No problem. Shri Narendra Modi.
Present, ma'am.
Shri Rajnath Singh,
Present.
Shri Amit Shah, Shri Nirmala Sitaraman,
Present, ma'am.
Shri Narendra Singh Tomar,
Present, ma'am.
Shri Arjun Munda,
Present, ma'am.
Shri Piyush Goyal, Shri Piyush Goyal,
Present, ma'am.
Shri Dharmendra Pradhan,
Present.
Shri Prahlad Joshi,
Present, ma'am.
Shri Mukhtar Abbas Naqvi, Dr. Virendra Kumar,
Present, ma'am.
Shri Giraj Singh, Shri Kiren Riju, Shri Hardeep Singh Puri, Shri Mansukh Mandavya, Shri Bhupendra Yadav,
Present, ma'am.
Sudeep Badopadhyay,
Sudeep Bandyopadhyay.
sorry, Sudeep Bandyopadhyay,
Present, ma'am.
Mahua Moitra,
Present, ma'am.
Dr. Shashi Tharoor,
Present, ma'am.
Rahul Gandhi,
Present, ma'am.
Srinivas Dadasaheb Patil, Supriya Sule,
Present, ma'am.
Akhilesh Yadav,
Present, ma'am.
Mulayam Singh Yadav, Lalu Prasad Yadav, Muhammad Ali Ashraf Fatmi,
Present, ma'am.
Rajendra Deria Gavit, Shrikant Eknath Shinde,
Present, ma'am.
Pani Morzi Karunanandi, A. Raja,
Present, ma'am.
Harshimat Kaur Badal,
Present.
Sukhbir Singh Badal,
Present, ma'am.
Ritesh Pandey, Sangeeta Azad, Dr. Farooq Abdullah,
Present, ma'am.
C. Lal Rosanga,
Present.
Asaduddin Owaisi, Dalal Chandra Goswami,
Present.
Srinivas Mani Reddy,
Present.
Indrahang Subha, Mimi Chakrabarti,
Present.
Maulana Badruddin Ajmal,
Present.
C.N. Annadurai.
Present.
So we're done.
Yeah, so how many members are present in the house? Okay, you are on mute.
So sorry, out of 46 people, there are 14 absent.
No, how many are present? I'm concerned with that.
32.
32 are present, right? So 17 will be the mark for majority. Quite simple as that. What we will simply do is we have Mr. Prime Minister as the first speaker for the opening statement. We have Shri Rahul Gandhi in the capacity of leader of the largest party in the opposition as the person to deliver the last opening statement. We can still select 6 people by the show of hands if you people can point if you feel like wishing to speak in the opening statements. Finally, yeah, all right. So we'll have Lay. I hope you are maintaining a list, right?
Yes, sir. The Rishik was also maintaining it.
From whom? Drishik, right? Drishik, hello, welcome on board. Achha. Chaliye. So we have the Honorable Prime Minister. What? Yeah, so we have the Prime Minister followed by Ms. Mahua Moitra, followed by Rajnath Singh. Put your hands down as soon as your names are being called out. Okay. Mahua Moitra, followed by Rajnath Singh, followed by Supriya Sule, followed by Shri Bhupender Yadav, followed by Akhilesh Yadav, followed by Narendra Singh Tomar.
There is some technical issue in my hand raising icon, so I'm also up for opening speech.
Yes, sir. Similar problem with me, sir. There is some technical issue in raising hand.
Sir, I believe I've already selected the 8 people nominated to speak in this.
सर
Problem.
हाँ जी
सर अगर पीयूष गोयल जी को बोलना है तो मैं अपना नाम वापस लेता हूँ.
बहुत बढ़िया सर. चलिए भूपेंद्र यादव जी आपकी जगह पीयूष गोयल जी.
क्या बोलो?
सॉरी. हाँ क्या हुआ? All right, let it be whatsoever it is. भूपेंद्र यादव जी की जगह पीयूष गोयल जी बोल देंगे. भूपेंद्र यादव जी, just for the sake of the committee, let me remind you. ठीक है, आप वैसे टेक्निकली एक सरकार में हैं, पर यहाँ हमें कंपटीशन में भी. Barring that, चलिए let's move ahead and play. Mr. Prime Minister, you have the floor for next 2 minutes. Kindly start, please.
Thank you very much, sir. संसद के अध्यक्ष, उपाध्यक्ष एवं सभी सांसदों को मेरा सादर नमस्कार. मैं काशी से सांसद नरेंद्र दामोदर दास मोदी आप सबका इस लोकसभा के सत्र में स्वागत करता हूं. भारत एक कृषि प्रधान देश है, ये तो हम सालों से सुनते आ रहे हैं, लेकिन इसका मूल आधार क्या है? क्या हमारे देश के किसान जो देश की अर्थव्यवस्था का भार उठा रहे हैं, क्या वो एक सुखद संतोषी जीवन व्यतीत कर रहे हैं? जमीनी वास्तविकता इससे इतनी दूर है कि वो एक आदर्श स्वप्न की भांति प्रतीत होता है. भाजपा की सरकार ने पिछले 8 वर्षों में पूरे जोर शोर से किसान कल्याण के लिए प्रयास किए हैं और देश को सही मायने में एक कृषि प्रधान देश बनने की तरफ अग्रसर किया है. भाजपा सरकार ने अपने कार्यकाल में ऐसी कई योजनाओं का शिलान्यास किया जिसका सीधा फायदा देश के किसानों को पहुंचा है. प्रधानमंत्री किसान सम्मान निधि से देश के छोटे मझोले हाशिए पे पड़े किसानों को सालाना 6,000 रुपए की राशि का प्रावधान हुआ. प्रधानमंत्री फसल बीमा योजना से देश के करोड़ों किसानों को अप्रत्याशित फसल बर्बादी के चंगुल से छुटकारा मिला. सालाना सरकार द्वारा न्यूनतम विक्रय मूल्य में बढ़ोतरी से किसान की आय में सार्थक बढ़ोतरी हुई. साल 2018-2019 में ही सरकार ने केवल 150% तक न्यूनतम विक्रय मूल्य में बढ़ोतरी की. ऐसे कई प्रावधानों के बावजूद किसानों की मौजूदा स्थिति में कई और सार्थक बदलाव लाए जा सकते हैं। सरकार अपनी तरफ से पूरी कोशिश कर रही है और सरकार चाहती है कि बाकी सांसद भी अपना इसमें पूरा योगदान दें, क्योंकि किसान ही हमारे देश की नींव है। देश के किसानों को जल्द से जल्द जमीनी कानूनों से दोष निवृत्ति की जरूरत है। हमें मौजूदा जमीन स्वामित्व की उच्चतम सीमा पर चर्चा करनी चाहिए, साथ ही साथ अनुबंध खेती पर भी विचार करना चाहिए। जमीनी हालत को उदारीकरण एवं आधुनिकीकरण की सख्त जरूरत है। आशा है कि संसद सत्र में हम अपने आपसी राजनीतिक मतभेदों को परे रखकर केवल अपना ध्यान एक तरफ केंद्रित करेंगे, जो कि होगा किसान विकास की तरफ। इसी के साथ मैं आप सबसे धन्यवाद लेना चाहता हूं। थैंक यू। सर, पॉइंट ऑफ पर्सनल प्रिविलेज। स्पीकर सर।
I believe he has been disconnected.
Ma'am, could there be a timer displayed on the screen for the perusal of the speaker?
Yes, sure.
Thank you, ma'am.
I'm sorry, but am I the only one who is not able to hearing anything? Or?
So we all could hear him.
अरे नहीं, लास्ट में आप खत्म हो गया ना? So what we can do is, if you people want, let's have an informal vote in the committee. If you people want, we can entertain 2 POIs per speech, so that will include all the speakers. Well, the others who wanted to speak but didn't get an opportunity, we can even include. So, by an informal show of hands, let's have an informal vote. Those in favor of entertaining 2 POIs per opening statement. यार ये क्या है ना, देखो इसमें हाथ उठाने वाली जो समस्या है वो थोड़ी जल्दी निपटाएगा। वैसे 5 मिनट अगर हम इस प्रोसेस में लगाएंगे तो हो गया देश। Okay. There are only 12 people who voted for it, so I don't believe that this passes. So we won't be having any POIs as such. Madam Mohammed, you have the floor for the next 2 minutes. Thank you so much.
A very good morning, respected Speaker Sir, Deputy Speaker Ma'am. I, Mahua Moitra, would like to speak on the achievements in past 10 years of the government of West Bengal. The government expenditure in agriculture and allied sectors activities has increased by 6.1 times compared to 2011. It grew from rupees 3,029 crores in 2010 to 11 to 18,603 crores in 2019 to 20. The food grains production has increased from 1.48 LMT in 2010 to 11 to 198.65 LMT in 2019 to 20. During 2021 to 2022, 12.90 LMT of fish and 24,875 million fish sheets have been produced in West Bengal up to December 2020. Sufal Bangla project, initiated in 2014, presently operates with 63 mobile vans and 3 hubs and 331 retail outlets across the state. About 75 to 80 MT of agriculture produce, amounting to 18 to 20 lakhs, are sold daily through Sufal Bangla outlets to serve 2 to 2.5 lakhs consumers daily. West Bengal has been awarded Krishi Karman Award for the best performance in course cereals production during the years 2017 to 18 in the sixth consecutive year. Under the Krishik Bandhu program, we have distributed benefiting about 46 lakh farmers. The death benefits have been provided to family members of 16,563 deceased farmers. We have also launched under the Farmers Old Age Pension Scheme a monthly pension of rupees 1,000 to about 1 lakh farmers. This shows the achievement, this shows the work that we have done for the farmers of West Bengal, and pretty much shows how much development we have done in the past decade of forming the government. Thank you very much.
All right, we'll move ahead to the next speaker.
Have a point of parliamentary inquiry.
Sure.
So, Speaker, is it assumed that in this formal session that in this duration of the Parliament to broadcast it to the wider nation, so our speeches can be addressed to the nation as a whole as well?
Sir, you basically address it to me out here in the Parliament.
Is it assumed that the people of the nation are watching the speeches as well?
Sir, live telecast kara jata hai, so that's a basic presumption that everyone has.
Okay.
All right. All right, sir, we'll move ahead to the next speaker. Who's the next speaker, please?
Yes. Warm greetings.
Go ahead, Rajnath Singh.
Warm greetings to the Honorable Speaker and the members present here in this August House today. This is Rajnath Singh, the Member of Parliament from the Lucknow Lok Sabha constituency. ईमानदारी मेहनत जिसकी शान है, वो मेरे देश का किसान है. Agriculture, as the members present here would know, is and has been one of the most important sectors of the Indian economy, contributing about 20% to the gross domestic product of the country. This sector employs about 3/4 of the total working population in our nation. And due to this reason, in the last 8 years of our government, we have tried our sincere best to bring in practical reforms into this sector with good intentions. This has been exemplified through the successful implementation of schemes like Electronic National Agricultural Market, Pradhan Mantri Krishi Sinchay Yojana, Paramparagat Krishi Vikas Yojana, Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana, and Pradhan Mantri Kisan Samman Nidhi Yojana, among many others. We have even gone the extra mile to give a good deal to our respected farmers on pesticides and fertilizers so that they can use it within proper bounds dutifully in order to ensure that their crops prosper to the fullest. We have moved heaven and earth, signing memorandums of understanding with several countries and private companies. Even, in fact, in the year 2017, we signed close to 20 MOUs with various countries just to ensure that our Annadatas are able to make use of cutting-edge technology. And I would like to inform the members of our parliament that just last month, we increased the MSP of several crops so that our farmers get the best deal out of it. We have tried our sincere best to improve the condition of our agricultural fields and agriculturalists. And I can say with surety that जब तक सीने में जान है, तक हम किसानों के साथ है. At the end, we will be trying to give our best to our farmers and to ensure a better life for everyone in this great republic of ours. Looking forward to meaningful and fruitful discussions with the member of the House here today. Thank you.
Thank you so much, the Honorable Minister. Next, we move ahead. Mr. Akhilesh Yadav, I think you are the next speaker, right?
Yeah, can I go ahead?
No.
Yeah, I can't hear you. Sorry. Can I go ahead? Sorry, Speaker, your voice is. I think your is not from.
Yeah, sir, you happen to be the next speaker. Mr. Akhilesh Yadav, kindly go ahead, please.
So, good morning, delegates and honorable speaker on this rather beautiful day. Today, we are assembled here unto this parliament to discuss the state of our nation's agrarian reforms. Now, as the president of the Samajwadi Party, I am committed to fighting towards the principle of self-determination and the well-being of the working class. This means acting against the unfair laws which act against the interests of the people of our nation. Now, the political establishment will try to warp their words around to make it seem that the agrarian laws enacted in this nation have been in the interest of the farmers and the workers. But we dissent. The political class of our nation have been acting in interest against the vast majority of the people of our nation. And in fact, for a small class of crony capitalists supporting and amplifying their policies for their own benefit. They manufacture consent of policies through the media, which they have their own hand on to the general public, boastful rodomontade of their supposed effectiveness through a small handful of schemes and acts, while the ordinary farmer fails to earn his bread and day. I hope, delegates and fellow citizens of our nation, that we come to develop a new perspective to the political establishment as well as a fruitful solution towards the end of this committee that benefits the people of our nation towards a fairer and more equitable future for our agrarian class. Thank you. Speaker, will you be able to hear me?
Yeah, thank you so much, Dave, for doing this. We can move ahead further and start. Next speaker, please.
A very good morning to each one present over here. शेतकरी सुखी तर जग सुखी या म्हणीचा आपण शांतपणे विचार केला तर आपल्याला शेतकरी म्हणजे काय या गोष्टीची जाणीव होईल. आपल्या देशातील बहुतांश लोकसंख्या ही ग्रामीण भागात वास्तव करत असल्याने त्यांचा मुख्य व्यवसाय हा शेती आहे. शेतीच्या उत्पादनावर ते आपला उदरनिर्वाह करतात. यामुळे आपला देश हा एक प्रकारे कृषीप्रधान देश आहे असे म्हणणे चुकीचे ठरणार नाही. शेतकऱ्याला जगाचा पोशिंदा म्हणतात कारण तो स्वतःची तहान भूक विसरून शेतात धान्य पिकवतो व संपूर्ण जगाची भूक भागवतो. Agriculture plays a vital role in the Indian economy. Over 70% of the rural households depend on agriculture. But have we noted that in the Indian economy, it only contributes about 70% of the total GDP? The ruling party has commented that it has provided the nation with enough policies and is launching various schemes for the development of farmers. But it is not visible. Even the World Bank says that the allocation of water is insufficient, unsustainable, and inequitable. In my constituency, that is Baramati, it's a drought-prone area, and what we lack is irrigation at a huge scale. Policies to meet the basic requirement of water, improvements in land, and access to technology are essential. Even if such policies are framed, where are the results of their execution? Why do we still lack education facilities? And we also know development in agrotechnology is taking place by a bit each and every day. But are we ensuring their availability to the farmers? Climate change, substantial use of natural resources, their scarcity when it comes to farming. Agriculture is a subject which requires the stakeholders to be farmer centric, but the bills that were passed did not involve any farmer in it. I would request the I request every member of the parliament to please implement schemes and policies that are in the favor of farmers and their lives. I would like to end my speech. Jai Jawan.
निर्मला सीतारमण जी क्या हाथ काहे खड़ा है?
सर एक पॉइंट रेज करना था।
किस चीज?
इस ओपनिंग स्टेटमेंट रिलेटेड ओपनिंग स्टेटमेंट रिलेटेड।
Hello. No, you just can't raise a substantive point out here like this. Wait for your opportunity.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Okay. Respected, sir.
Sir, point of personal privilege. Since there is live translation in Lok Sabha, could we expect to get a gist in a translated language in this simulation as well?
May I beg your pardon, please?
So, in case, since this is a multilingual committee, we cannot be expected to understand every single language possible. So, sir, can we be provided with a gist in a translated language such as a common medium like English?
I agree.
Yes, so can someone please help these people out with the Marathi stuff?
Yes.
हाँ देव कर दे जल्दी से।
So as far as I remember, Supriya ma'am was speaking about agriculture, and her statement spoke about how farmers are the backbone of this country. And again, she was tackling the BJP, saying that for the farmers and the farmer suicides, they have not done anything. If I'm wrong, please tell me, ma'am. I don't think you. I think you also mentioned the farmers' protest.
May I do it for you? May I explain it further?
Go ahead, please.
Yeah. So basically, I meant that we live in a country where farmers are considered to be the most essential part of the community. They ignore their habits. They even do not have food to eat. But what they care of is that we should get enough crops and food to eat. So and a huge population of India is involved in farming, so that we can also say that it is a Krishi Pradhan, that is a country where agriculture is the most vital part.
I believe it served the cause, Mr. Prime Minister.
Yes, sir, that would be great. Thank you, sir.
Perfect. Should I ready to what are you raising?
Point of personal privilege, sir.
Yes, madam.
Madam Deputy Speaker asked us to switch on our videos. However, my internet connectivity is rather poor, so I would like to refrain.
And trust me, I'm facing the same issue. That's the reason I have put down my camera off. No issues there, but yeah, if it is possible for you, go ahead. Please.
Thank you.
All right. Yeah, the next speaker there. Who's the next speaker?
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
It's Farooq Ali.
Farooq Abdullah, so you are happy to be the next speaker. We hear you now. Farooq Abdullah sahab. All right, considering the fact that Mr. Farooq Abdullah is not here, Mr. Abdullah. Right, so considering that Mr. Farooq Abdullah is not here, we will simply recognize someone else from the opposition benches. May I have a show of hands as to the person who wishes to be recognized? Feel like speaking in this opening statement. Mere hands now. Nirmala Sitaraman, are you in the
Farooq
opposition?
Abdullah is back in the committee.
Farooq Abdullah sahab, you were recognized earlier. May I know the good reason why you weren't here?
सर वो नेटवर्क इशू की वजह से आपकी आवाज नहीं आ रही थी।
बहुत अच्छे से बाकी वो आ रही थी, खैर कोई बात नहीं। So we put this discussion to rest since Mr. Abdullah is not here right now. Thank you. Go ahead, please. Thank you.
On 3, 2, 1. सर आज हम लोग कृषि प्रधान देश की बात करते हैं, भूमि सुधार की बात करते हैं। स्वतंत्रता पूर्व ब्रिटिश राज के तहत किसानों के पास अपनी खेती की जमीन का स्वामित्व नहीं था। जमीन जमींदारों और जागीरदारों के हित में चलती थी। आजादी के बाद भूमि की समस्या के लिए करियप्पन की एक रिपोर्ट समिति की अध्यक्षता में एक रिपोर्ट बनाई गई, जिसमें समिति की रिपोर्ट ने व्यापक उपयोगों की सिफारिश रखी थी, जिसमें स्वतंत्र भारत के 4 भूमि सुधारों के 4 घटक थे। बिचौलियों का उन्मूलन, किराएदार सुधार और जमीन की सीमा को तय करना। जमीन जो जोतते हैं हम लोग, जो खेती के लिए जमीन होती है, उनका समेकन। बिचौलियों के उन्मूलन के बाद सरकार के पास जमीन बिचौलियों से ली गई, उसके बाद उनको उन किसानों तक पहुंचाया गया जिनके पास जमीन नहीं थी कि किसानी करने के लिए, फसल उपजाने के लिए। इन सब को देखने के बाद बढ़ती हुई जनसंख्या और गैर कृषि क्षेत्रों में काम की कमी की भूमि पर दबाव बढ़ाती है, जिससे खेत में विखंडन की प्रवृत्ति बढ़ती जा रही है। लेकिन इस सरकार को ये देखने में दिक्कत आ रही है कि इनकी पता नहीं आंकड़े कहाँ से आ रहे हैं, इनके समझ नहीं आ रहा। दिसंबर 2015 तक 5.7 करोड़ गरीब किसान को 50 लाख एकड़ तक की जमीन दी गई, जिसकी कहीं कोई रिकॉर्ड नहीं है। 101.4 मिलियन या तो कहे 56.4% ग्रामीण परिवारों के पास कृषि योग्य भूमि नहीं है, और इनके पास कहने के लिए यह है कि हमारे पास ये पॉलिसी और वो पॉलिसी है, धरातल पर जिसकी कोई समय सीमा, कोई लिखावट, कहीं कोई लिखा पढ़ी नहीं है। द ड्राफ्ट नेशनल लैंड रिफॉर्म पॉलिसी हैज क्रिएटेड वेस्ट बंगाल, केरला एंड जम्मू कश्मीर फॉर परफॉर्म बेस्ट इन सरप्लस लैंड डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन। आप इससे सोच सकते हैं कि जब तक हम लोग सरकार में थे, हमारी आवाम, हमारी जनता, पूरे जम्मू कश्मीर की क्या दुर्दशा थी। अभी इन्होंने 370 हटा दिया। 370 हटा करके ये कहते हैं कि हम देश को बचा रहे हैं, एक अलग प्रधान। अरे हम लोगों ने ऐसी बात ही नहीं कही। हमने अपने आवाम से ऊपर, अपने आवाम से नीचे कभी नहीं देखा। उनकी खुशी, उनकी समृद्धि देखी हम लोगों ने। लेकिन ये 13 वर्षों की में सबसे निचले स्तर पर आ गई है। 7.4 की गिरावट, और अमीर जमींदारों के पास भूमि दी जा रही है। बड़े उद्योगपति आ रहे हैं, जम्मू और कश्मीर की धरती की जमीन को खरीद रहे हैं। तो आप उससे अंदाजा लगा सकते हैं कि हमारा किसान कहाँ जाएगा, कौन सी जमीन खरीदेगा, कहाँ उपज पैदा करेगा। जीडीपी की स्तर की बात ही मत कीजिए। इस सरकार की पता नहीं कौन सी मानसिकता आ गई है, सिर्फ इनको व्यापक और बड़े उद्योगपतियों से ही मिलना है। छोटे मोटे किसान तो चाहे वो जो भी हो, जैसे भी हो, या फिर आप फार्म बिल की बात कर ले 2020 में जो इन्होंने लाया, जिसकी कोई भी न सिर न पैर किसी चीज का नहीं है। आप जिसके लिए बिल ला रहे हैं, आप जिसके लिए एक्ट ला रहे हैं, वही आपसे खुश नहीं है। तो आप सोच सकते हैं कि आपकी क्या मानसिकता है, आप किसके लिए ला रहे हैं और किस मानसिकता से ला रहे हैं। इसे तीनों पॉइंट पे रखना चाहूंगा आगे के डिबेट में। वैसे तब तक के लिए धन्यवाद। थैंक यू।
Farooq Abdullah sir, do you realize how long you spoke after your time was over?
सर आपकी आवाज नहीं है.
Sir, do you realize कि आप टाइम से कितना ऊपर बोल रहे हैं?
Sir, I guess 1 minute.
So certainly, sir, whatever you said in that last 1 minute will be considered for your marking as such. Thank you.
Okay, sir.
Shashi Tharoor sir, to what point you raised?
So there's a point of personal privilege.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
So I had faced constant issues with the electricity, therefore I was not able to hear properly. And has the recognition done?
Sir, the recognition for the opening statements are done away with. We'll be seeking recognitions as soon as we are done with the last speaker, which happens to be the former president of the party.
All right. All right. Thank you so much.
Yes, Mr. Prime Minister, to what point you raise?
So, point of personal privilege. Could Farooq Abdullah Saab please repeat his point about Kerala?
Sir, this can't be done, please. I'm so very sorry क्योंकि सभी का इंटरनेट कनेक्शन से अगर हम ये करते रहेंगे repeat the point तो दिन निकल जाएगा और opening statements खत्म नहीं.
Okay, sir, I understand the issue, but could it be written in the chat at least?
Yeah, Farooq Abdullah, so you could directly message it to Farooq Abdullah, right?
All right, sure, thank you.
Yeah, Supriya Sudhir Saab, to what point do you raise?
Adhyaksh Mahoday, I have a point of personal inquiry.
No,
Madam.
Okay. There exists nothing called personal inquiry. Either there exists a point of personal privilege or there exists a point of parliamentary inquiry. What do you want precisely?
Point of parliamentary inquiry.
Go ahead, please.
Are we allowed to pass comments while the session is going on via the chat box?
No, via the chat box, yes.
Thank you.
No. Yeah. Any other questions, anyone? Can we have the next speaker now? Mr. Narendra Singh Tomar.
Yes, sir.
Kindly start, please. You are the next speaker, right?
So actually, I was waiting for the timer to begin. Okay, I'll start. So it is said that agriculture.
Just give me a minute, Dave.
Agriculture is the fundamental source of a national prosperity. Moving on the same lines, greetings everyone. इस गरिमामय सदन में उपस्थित माननीय स्पीकर महोदय एवं सभी साथीगणों को मेरा सादर प्रणाम. This is Narendra Singh Tomar, who is representing the Gwalior constituency of our nation. At the same time, I would welcome everyone, all the members of the parliament who are present over here. आज का दिन अपने आप में ही बहुत खास है. बहुत सारी नई आशाएं अपने में समाये हुए हैं. This is because of the very reason that today, the world's largest democracy and its parliament is going to witness discussions and deliberations on the much needed topic of today's time, that is agrarian reforms of the current century. Moving ahead, I would like to inform all the members of the parliament who are present in the house that हमारी सरकार ने पिछले 8 सालों में सत्ता में आने के बाद बहुत सारे ऐसे काम किए हैं, बहुत सारे ऐसी स्कीम्स लाए जिसने फार्मर्स का फायदा किया है. कुछ समय पहले मैं कुछ ऑपोजिशन पार्टी के लोगों को सुन रही थी, उनके हिसाब से ऐसे कि सरकार ने ऐसी कोई भी चीज नहीं की जिससे किसानों का भला हुआ हो. So at this juncture, let me bring it to the notice of the house that there are many farmers who have openly stated that they are very happy with the ongoing schemes, with the ongoing public policies and the laws that are in force in the nation for their own benefit. आप फार्मर्स लॉ की बात करते हैं जो हमने 2020 में लाए थे, आपको सिर्फ उसका नेगेटिव एस्पेक्ट दिखता है. बहुत सारे ऐसे भी फार्मर्स हैं जिनको आप दरकिनार करके चलते हैं and they have stated it that they are happy with the current ongoing systems. साथ ही साथ हमारी सरकार ने हमारे ऑनरेबल प्राइम मिनिस्टर के नेतृत्व में बहुत सारी ऐसी स्कीम्स लाई हैं जिन्होंने सीधा फार्मर्स को बेनिफिट किया है. फॉर एग्जांपल, अगर हम प्रधानमंत्री किसान सम्मान निधि योजना की बात करें तो हमारे ऑनरेबल प्राइम मिनिस्टर ने अपने एड्रेस में ये चीज बहुत साफ बता दी थी कि किस तरीके से उसने पूरे देश के किसानों को बेनिफिट किया है. साथ ही साथ अगर मैं मेरे ग्वालियर कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंसी की बात करूं तो मध्य प्रदेश में भी माननीय श्री शिवराज सिंह चौहान जी की सरकार ने भी अपने स्तर पे बहुत सारी ऐसी चीजें की हैं जिससे कि ग्वालियर के किसानों को भी फायदा किया गया है। आने वाले डिबेट्स में, डिस्कशंस में मैं फैक्ट्स एंड फिगर्स के साथ आप सबके सामने मौजूद रहूंगी। धन्यवाद।
Thank you so much, sir. We have the last speaker now, the Honorable Leader of the largest party in opposition, Shri Rahul Gandhi.
Good morning to everyone here. The BJP government talks the big talk, but when it promises of doubling farmers' income by 2022, which has been proven void, much like its sloganeering of Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas. And I would like to point out how the schemes that the government is so proud of have failed its citizens. To begin with, the Pradhan Mantri Kisan Samman Nidhi Yojana, which is meant to reach landless farmers and give them 6,000 rupees in subsidy, which only recognized 9% of the farmer population and totally disrecognized the tenants who constitute around 13.7% of farm households and have to incur the additional input cost of land rent. Moreover, the money that was supposed to be given through the scheme has not reached a lot of its beneficiaries either. Moving on, the government promised an increased investment, but it is sad to say that the agricultural budget for this year has been below what was expected, with fund allocations on a rapid decline. A lot of states even receiving less than 50% of what they used to even in 2018. And building on the PM Kisan Yojana, the interest-free Kisan credit card loans that were meant to reach a large set of farmers have been unequally distributed among states, and the reach remains dismal. The Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana only constitutes of around 16.55% of marginal farmers, which is even dropped from 2018 statistics of 18.08%, with small farmers in very less participation as they're yet awaiting 2018's insurance after the crop damage. And this is purely because of sub-powered implementation and execution of the scheme. Further, the government had promised in its manifesto that it would create an organic farming market, which currently is nearly non-existent for a small farmer who has no means of a cold supply chain and no means to travel across the country or even the globe to sell its produce. There's no effort put to create local markets that could support small farmers. Moving on, the Prime Minister of this country had said that it would cater the needs of the big cities with a direct mechanism of marketing for vegetables, fruits, and dairy products through farmer cooperative unions. But this again has not been done. There's been very little effort to even try to do this. The government has not, the government talked the big talk about promoting young agri-scientists. However, it has not increased the research allocation of the budget. It has not increased the number of grants. It has not increased the number of intakes of scientists. Let alone all of that, it has not even contributed to building scientific temper amongst the people of this country, because it believes that chanting will protect you from COVID and Gomutra is the universal cure to all disease on the face of this planet.
I believe you have exhausted your time due to some technical glitch. We couldn't show the timer on the screen. We are so very sorry for that.
Can I conclude?
Kindly do that.
Okay. So the governance of the BJP can be summed with the recurring theme of incompetence. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Honorable Leader of the largest party in the opposition. Next we move ahead. We'll be looking for motions for a short period discussion. Those who have any short period discussion agenda to discuss may present their agendas. Yes, Mr.
Sir, will you be recognizing people for the opening speeches? One more.
No, sir. No, sir. We are done with the opening statements now. Rather, we are moving towards a short period discussions. Sudhir Bandyopadhyay ji, to what point you raise?
Sir, can I go ahead with the motion?
Yes, sir. Please go ahead.
Okay. So, Honorable Speaker, sir, I would like to raise the motion as I have heard from all the members of the parliament. They were speaking.
But simple सा था. I wish to raise a short period discussion for a total time period per speaker's time this and the agenda being this. Detail names that you can speak while you are recording.
Okay. So, sir, I would be wishing for 3 minutes, and it will be on the waivers which are.
Sir, it can't be 3 minutes. Keep it somewhere close to like at max minimum 1 minute to at max 2 minutes.
Okay, sir. So it will be 2 minutes, and the agenda will be on the farm loan waivers.
Sir, a pura proper procedure tha. I have discussed it in the ROP session. The proper format will be I, Sudhir Bandyopadhyay, would like to have a short period discussion on the topic farm loan waivers for a total time period of 30 minutes per speaker's time being 2 minutes, right?
All right, sir, noted.
So kindly repeat and then we move ahead.
Okay. So I, Sudhir Bandyopadhyay, will like to raise motion on the topic farm loan waivers, and the period timing will be 30 minutes, and per speaker will be 1.5 to 2 minutes.
Sir, keep it either 2 or 1.5. Be specific. 2 minutes. Perfect. Thank you. So we'll be recognizing 15 speakers to speak in this. We'll be taking further more motions by the order of disruption. We'll vote. Nirmala Sitharaman ji, to what point you raise?
Sir, I want to raise the point of irrigation and how our government, sir, I, Nirmala Sitharaman, want to raise the issue of irrigation and have a discussion about 30 minutes on it, and each time to a speaker 2 minutes, as irrigation is a very important sub-agenda of agriculture.
बहुत अच्छे सर. अभी मैंने सुधीर बंदोपाध्याय साहब को एक चीज समझाई थी. मुझे आपकी भावनाओं से मतलब नहीं है. As far as the statement is concerned, it ought to be in a particular order. Kindly repeat.
Okay, sir. I, Nirmala Sitharaman, the finance minister of the country will write. The finance minister will like to raise the irrigation implementation done by our government.
To raise a short period discussion.
We like to raise a short period discussion on our scheme of irrigation for 30 minutes.
Per speaker's time.
Every speaker time will be 2 minutes.
And speaker's time being 2 minutes. Okay, so perfect. Bhupendra Yadav sir, to what point you raise?
Sir, I, Bhupendra Yadav, Minister of Environment and Climate Change, I will like to raise the point of organic farming with the help of environment, green environment. And every speaker time will be 1 minute.
Can I also
We already have 3 assets. We will be conducting others soon. Okay. So by the order of discussion, the first vote upon the motion proposed by Shri Sudhir Bandyopadhyay, that is with respect to farm loan waivers, total time 30 minutes, per speaker's timing 2 minutes. Those in favor of this discussion may raise their hands now. बंदोपाध्याय साहब, आप खुद तो रहो, खुद के सपोर्ट हो. ये दुनिया बहुत खराब है ऐसे. All right, just for words, this motion any lapses. The next we'll vote upon the motion proposed by Shri Nirmala Sitharaman with respect to the irrigation policy in India. Those in favor may raise their hands now. But yeah, there exists a reason why I'm not asking for like those in favor, those in opposition, because ये क्या हाथ उठाने में आपको काफी टाइम लगाता है. But अगर गवर्नमेंट से भी मिनिस्टर के प्रपोज मोशन है तो नरेंद्र मोदी साहब सरकार खतरे में. This motion also left. The next is the motion proposed by Shri Bhupendra Yadav, discuss upon the organic farming in India. Same 30 minutes per speaker's time being 2 minutes. Those in favor may raise their hands now.
आप सभी
All right, this motion also
अंतरात्मा की
fails.
आवाज सुने.
अरे अंतरात्मा की आवाज तुम्हारी पार्टी तुम्हारी नहीं सुन रही है, तुम दूसरों को अंतरात्मा की आवाज समझा रहे हो यार, मूर्ख हो क्या? कैसी बात? Take a bit of time. Stands adjourned for next this particular meeting. लोगों को रहना है. The Honorable Prime Minister, the Honorable Leaders Party Opposition together. Okay, the motion fail हो जाएंगे.
सर यहाँ
तो
पे
देश
हम लोग तब तक के लिए लॉबिंग कर लेते हैं.
हाँ तो मतलब समय मैं उसी के लिए दे रहा हूँ भाई साहब. आपको और क्या लग रहा है? मेरे को 15 मिनट घूम के थोड़ी आना. ठीक है, लगाइए दिमाग, करिए मेहनत. बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद. 15 मिनट बाद मुलाकात होते हैं. The house is set to reconvene at 11:20. Thank you so much.
कोरम कितना है अभी फिलहाल? 37 लोग हैं ना, एंड टू स्ट्रेट मेजॉरिटी 17. 17. एनडीए वालों अपने लिए तो वोट कर दो.
सर उस तरीके की एजेंडा रहेगी फिर तो आपके वाले लोग आपका वोट के लिए वोट करेंगे. एजेंडा उस तरीके का लाइए.
और आपके घर में विरोध है, व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप चेक करते रहा करो, मतलब लाइक.
हाँ, एनडीए वालों ग्रुप बनाया था, व्हाट्सएप चेक कर लो थोड़ा.
Exactly, opposition.
प्लीज सबको मिल के चलानी नहीं कर लीजिए क्या व्हाट्सएप.
सर यूपीए भी तो है, उनके भी जो इंटरेस्ट का आप सोचिए. ऐसा कोई एजेंडा
मिसेस सोले, आपके भाई साहब भी करप्शन में है.
यूपीए का कोई वजूद नहीं बचा है.
यूपीए का कुछ वजूद नहीं बचा है.
वजूद की बात तो अलग है, इंटरेस्ट की बात यहाँ पे हमें यूपी और एनडीए का इंटरेस्ट तो नेशन का डिस्कस हो रहा है.
एक सेकंड गाइस,
अगर हम ऐसे देखेंगे तो nobody will support nobody if somebody is from NDA raising a motion.
Agenda which will help everyone. Let us pass a certain agenda.
Mrs. Moitra, your party is corrupted.
Let's pass
Who says किसकी party?
फार्मर बिल हमने फार्मर का सोचते, फार्मर बिल हमने वापस ले, हमने आपके फार्मर्स के करते हुए हमने वापस ले लिया है.
अरे तो
डिस्कशन तो बनता है ना सर.
पार्लियामेंट नहीं.
एकेडमिक सिमुलेशन.
पहले आप कश्मीर में जाके देखिए आपने कितना लूटा है.
निर्मला, I know.
अरे हम तो कश्मीर से ही आ रहे हैं.
Wait a second, okay. We should talk about. I'll raise a point. अरे यार, just wait a second. I'll raise a point on the intent and the effectiveness of agrarian reforms in India.
Sir, नहीं pass
this is a point in which we can all agree on to talk about.
I agree
right?
with him.
Intent and
Everyone will be able to. Let us have a point. Every one of us can.
हमारे पास 2 दिन है. एक छोटी टॉपिक लीजिए, बहुत बड़ा दिन है, बहुत लंबा सफर तय करना है, बहुत सारे टॉपिक पे डिस्कशन करना है. एक टॉपिक मत लीजिए, सब लोग थोड़ा थोड़ा बोल लेंगे.
अखिलेश जी, ये जो आपने चैट में लिखा
अरे
है
ये
वो
किसने इरिगेशन
मीटिंग
किसने
का
raise किया
एजेंडा
पॉइंट
है।
ना, घटिया पॉइंट है, इट्स सो स्पेसिफिक एंड आर्बिट्ररी, लाइक इट्स नॉट इवन
अखिलेश
रिमोटली
जी,
पॉलिटिकल.
सर
थोड़ा
वो
शांत
in
रहेंगे,
Lok Sabha
बात
talk about
करेंगे
एक
तो
irrigation.
क्षमता
सबको
रखिए
समझ में
अखिलेश
आएगा
जी,
और अच्छे से
शांत
ये
होगा।
जो
हो
आपने
पहले।
पॉइंट लिखा है
मेरे
चैट
को
में,
objectively
ये पूरी
किशन की
कंटिन्यूस ऑडियो
बातें
है।
बहुत कर
Every
सकते
one
हैं
by
ना.
one people can
अरे
speak,
सब मत
please.
बोलो।
किसी को
एक
बोलना
पूरे
है।
पॉइंट पे स्टिक करते हैं और उस पे करते.
एक काम करो, एक काम करो,
Okay, wait, you know what?
Can
Let's
one by
guys
one
vote.
everyone
Let's just
speak.
vote on it.
भेज दो,
Okay.
एक एक करके डिस्कस कर
Whoever
लेंगे कि
wants,
किसको डिस्कस करना है।
whoever
Nobody
wants
is able to hear
the
सर
anything.
ऑर्गेनिक फार्मिंग वाला जो एजेंडा था वो आई गेस
One
बहुत
by one.
important ला रहा है. तो आप
One
लोग
person
ऑर्गेनिक फार्मिंग कोई इशू नहीं है इधर.
अरे कैसे नहीं इशू है सर?
एक मिनट,
ऑर्गेनिक
जिसको बोलना है हैंड्स रेस करो, फिर सीक्वेंस में एक एक नाम लेंगे, फिर एक एक इंसान बोल.
Okay.
सब लोग
एनडीए वालों व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप चेक कर
एक
लो एक बार।
एनडीए की तरफ से करो और एक यूपीए की तरफ से, दो
जिसको-
एजेंडा और आधे आधे घंटे का डिस्कशन कर सकते हैं.
देखो अभी जिसको भी
आधे
बोलना
घंटे
है
का
अभी
डिस्कशन
सारे
तो
एजेंडे
बहुत
पास
होता है।
करके करके तू परेशान हो रहा है.
एक मिनट, सब लोग अपना अपना हाथ उठाओ जिसको अभी कुछ बोलना है, अपना व्यू रखना है, ठीक है? अभी मुझे निर्मला सीतारामन जी दिख रहे हैं, वो आप बोल लो, फिर सुप्रिया सुले, फिर सुदीप बंदोपाध्याय और फिर हरदीप सिंह पुरी, और किसी को उठाना है?
मैंने उठाया ना.
उसके बाद मुझे फारूक अब्दुल, एक एक करके पहले निर्मला सीतारामन जी बोलो.
हाँ.
और 15 मिनट है तो थोड़ा जल्दी बोलना सब.
हाँ, मेरा तो पॉइंट ऑफ ये है कि वी शुड रेज irrigation as it is the most important topic because all farmers including in Maharashtra faces this water issue and how we can solve this or how we can what we are implementing as a government.
ठीक है, अभी गिरिराज सिंह जी. आपको
हाँ मैं बोल रहा हूँ कि इंस्टेड ऑफ गोइंग लाइक अ इंडिविजुअल पर्सन रेजिंग अ पॉइंट, टेक टाइम. व्हाट्सएप पे यहाँ पे ज्यादा झगड़ा भी नहीं करना पड़ेगा. एज यूपीए डिसाइड वन, एज एनडीए डिसाइड वन, एक एक करके दोनों डिस्कस हो जाएंगे.
अभी सुप्रिया सुले जी.
So rather than discussing any other subject, I believe that अगर गवर्नमेंट की पॉलिसीज जो फार्मर्स के लिए उन्होंने लॉन्च करी है, अगर वो डिस्कस करते हैं, आप अपने पॉलिसीज प्रूव कर सकते हैं कि आपने कितना कुछ इम्प्लीमेंट किया है विद द नंबर्स टॉकिंग, एंड वी कैन प्रूव दैट what has to be done and what was not done as per the election manifesto as decided, and I think that would be in favor of both NDA and
Yeah. So हम लोग एक्चुअली एक जेनरिक पॉइंट रखते हैं हम लोग, जिसमें हम लोग मेजर इशू सारे पॉलिसीज भी कवर करेंगे और एमएसपी जो कि एक मेन पॉइंट है उसे कन्वर्ट का, और इसके लिए हम लोग 2 ग्रुप यूपीए एंड एनडीए बना सकते हैं. That was a good suggestion.
हरदीप सिंह पुरी.
हेलो, हेलो.
हाँ सुनाई दे रहा है.
सुनाई दे रहा है ना? हाँ, तो 2 ग्रुप बनाने का वो वाला आइडिया अच्छा है, और हम लोग एक जेनरिक टॉपिक रखते हैं जिसमें मेजर सारे इरिगेशन भी कवर होंगे, और ब्रॉडली जो हमारा मेन मोटिव है वो पॉलिसीज को डिस्कस करना है, उसके इम्पैक्ट को हम लोग डिस्कस कर पाएंगे. तो ऐसा रखते हैं हम लोग टॉपिक.
ठीक है, तो मुझे तो लगता है अभी सब लोग अपना
Let me speak. I have something to say.
कर रहे हैं.
Akhilesh.
कौन है? हाँ.
Yeah. So on the point of irrigation, it's irrelevant because our entire point is talking about the agrarian reforms, how they've been passed in the country, right? The reason I put in the topic of the intent and effectiveness of agrarian reforms is it's a broad topic. It will introduce a flow to the committee, and जो भी हम अपने speeches में बोलेंगे, it will direct how the committee will go on forward. And that's a relatively unbiased topic that I think we can all agree upon. If you want to modify it, you can do that. But intent and effectiveness, that's something that BJP can defend and the opposition can attack. I think that's the thing we should do forward.
अखिलेश जी, थोड़ा एक इशू है आपके पॉइंट से. That is the topic of the entire committee. You can't keep it as a short time discussion.
Short time discussion मतलब?
सर इतना वेग टॉपिक लेकर के आपको कहाँ जाना है? 2 दिन
वेग नहीं, मतलब it's intent and effectiveness.
आप अपने देखिए आप अपने लिए मत
Intent and effectiveness बहुत broad topic है.
सोचिए, सब लोग थोड़ा बोल रहे
हैं. एक मिनट हम वापस ये कर रहे हैं. इंडिया और यूपीए के 2 ग्रुप व्हाट्सएप पे
है, 2 ग्रुप
यूपीए के भी है ना. तो अभी यूपीए वाले आप खुद में डिसाइड कर लो आपको क्या प्रपोज करना है और क्या सपोर्ट करेंगे। एनडीए वाले एक टॉपिक पे ये करके अपना ये कर लेंगे और फिर हम वोटिंग पे डालते हैं और जिसका पास हुआ हो गया, नहीं हुआ नहीं हुआ। ठीक है।
बाय द वे कोई ओसी मेंबर है क्या? कैन वी मेक स्मॉल ब्रेकआउट रूम्स एज वेल?
मुझे लगता है ये पहले से हम ब्रेकआउट रूम में तो और पता नहीं
पहले से ब्रेकआउट मेंबर है भी नहीं।
क्या मैं कुछ बोल सकता हूँ?
वो डिस्कशन व्हाट्सएप पे
NDA
कर
group
लेते हैं ना,
people?
उसके लिए अलग मीटिंग नहीं लगेगी।
एनडीए ग्रुप पीपल, लैंड लीजिंग का टॉपिक इज इट ओके विद एवरीवन? एज वी डिस्कस्ड कल था थोड़ा, तो ब्रॉड एंडेड टॉपिक, इवन यूपीए विल गेट देयर पॉइंटर्स टू स्पीक, क्योंकि जाहिर सी बात है 50 साल सरकार थी, कुछ तो बोलने को होगा ही। Also, NDA group का कौन यहाँ पे present है? Can you send something in the chat so that we have a count on the WhatsApp group, please? जी निर्मला मैम।
मैं मानता हूँ कि लैंड रिफॉर्म्स को बोलना चाहिए, लेकिन मेरे को अभी बहुत ज्यादा लगता है कि इरिगेशन बोलना बहुत जरूरी है। हाँ सर, इरिगेशन अच्छा रहेगा, क्योंकि सर मैं मानता हूँ कि लैंड तो मिल जाता है, प्रॉब्लम बहुत होता है इरिगेशन।
सर लैंड ही तो नहीं मिलता, कोई बात
अरे wait, we're getting disordered again. Let me explain why I raised up the point. The reason why I raised up a broad point is just because it will direct the flow of the committee. If you go into a very specific point first,
I
then
agree
it will
with
be
that.
disordered.
एनडीए वाला
वो बहुत ज्यादा
Sorry
broad
to
या
interrupt
कोई
everyone,
हाँ
just a quick thing. I have made an opposition group. Please, everyone join. Since not every party is a part of UBA, I've made this group so all the opposition MPs can work together. So if you are willing to join, please do join. Most of the people have joined, so it will be
But
great.
why TMC is going
मैम
to?
आप श्योर है टीएमसी और कांग्रेस की बनेगी और एनसीपी की
Sir,
बनेगी?
साथ में काम करना पड़ेगा. If we have
एनडीए गाइस,
tell the ruling party what they are
आज हम
doing
बना
wrong.
लेंगे।
If we are
आप
fighting
भी तो
amongst
जहाँ तक
ourselves, तो फिर हो चुका.
जस्ट
वहाँ हाथ मिला
जैसे
लेते हैं,
आपने
मिला लेंगे।
मिलके जैसे आपने पार्थ चक्रवर्ती के साथ मिलके एकदम अच्छा काम किया बंगाल में,
Sir,
अभी
please
यहाँ
no
पे आप
personal
Like,
comments.
you're getting
just
political
a
and
minute,
informal session.
just a minute. डॉक्टर
हाँ जी
वीरेंद्र
राजनाथ
कुमार को
राजनाथ
कोई
जी।
एनडीए वाले ग्रुप का लिंक भेज दो। my WhatsApp is not on currently on my laptop.
हाँ, भेजता हूँ।
सर मैं प्राइवेट लिंक भेज देता
On
हूँ
the
आपको।
chat itself.
भी भेजना ग्रुप में। किसको किसको चाहिए?
मुझे लिंक चाहिए,
मुझे भी चाहिए, मैं किसी भी ग्रुप में नहीं हूँ। ठीक है सर, मैं एलएस के ग्रुप पे ही डाल देता हूँ।
नहीं डॉक्टर
भेज दिया है।
वीरेंद्र,
मैंने भेजा है।
रुकिए
I
got his number.
gave him my number. अगर आप उसको ऐड कर सकते हैं ग्रुप में तो बेटर है।
On it.
फाइनल डिस्कशन ये है ना, यूपी एनडी अपना अपना टॉपिक सोच जाएंगे, इस पे वोटिंग होगी।
हाँ वही है।
ठीक है, फेयर इनफ।
Yeah. Someone send me the group link of NDA on
Honorable members. Honorable members.
जी हर सरमत जी बोलिए।
हाँ जी सर
मैं
बताइए।
ये बोल रहा था जो ऑर्गेनिक फार्मिंग का जो कॉन्सेप्ट है हमारे देश में, वो सबसे अच्छा कॉन्सेप्ट है सिक्किम के पास। और सिक्किम और नॉर्थ ईस्टर्न स्टेट में अभी तक जितना हमारी मिनिस्ट्री का स्टडी है, सबसे अच्छा ऑर्गेनिक फार्मिंग उन्हीं के पास कॉन्सेप्ट मौजूद है। तो क्या अगर आप लोग चाहें तो हम एक प्रस्ताव ला सकते हैं कि ऑर्गेनिक फार्मिंग को भी बढ़ावा मिले, पॉलिसीज हम ला सकते हैं। अगर ऑपोजिशन और साथ गवर्नमेंट चाहे तो हम इसके ऊपर डिस्कशन कर सकते हैं। तो क्या आपका इस विचार है? प्लीज
Instead
बताइए।
of being very specific to only organic farming, perhaps we can look at it on a wider lens and incorporate how climate change should be taken into account while making agrarian reform policies.
Yeah.
So that would
Delegates-
even cover irrigation and how you want to use your water, or how you want to promote organic farming, or literally or the stubble problem in Punjab, Haryana. It will cover a lot of ground. for making reforms. So perhaps we can do that.
But Rahul Gandhi, the
Mr.
speaker
Rahul.
will look unfavorably upon that. Like we are supposed to talk about the policies which have been
Guys,
implemented in the country in the past, right? We can talk about solutions of the future until the committee
Mr.
flows on
Rahul
forward.
Gandhi, Mr.
Yes.
Rahul Gandhi, our report says that कि जो सिक्किम में ऑर्गेनिक फार्मिंग हुई है उसमें जो जो अभी तक उन्होंने अच्छाइयां देखी वो ये है कि ग्राउंड वाटर लेवल जो सबसे पहला पॉइंट रहता है ग्राउंड वाटर लेवल वो
Sir,
बड़ा है
मैं आपको ये नहीं बोल रही I disagree with what you're saying or anything. आप बोलिए, आप ये speech में बोलिए ना. This will also come under climate action, right? So we can take that.
और इससे क्लाइमेट पे भी और एनवायरनमेंट में भी बहुत अच्छे असर दिखे हमें.
Exactly.
जो कि जो हमारा जो क्लाइमेट के ऊपर इफेक्ट हो रहा था और साथ में नेचर को उसके अच्छे परिणाम में ऑर्गेनिक
यहाँ पे भी एजेंडा डिस्कस कर लीजिए, डिस्कशन के लिए बाद में रहेगा. यहाँ पे टॉपिक डिसाइड कर लीजिए. 10 मिनट मिले, 10 मिनट खत्म हो जाएंगे, फिर डिस्कशन होता रहेगा. केवल टॉपिक डिसाइड कर लीजिए प्लीज. यूपी और एनडीए दोनों एक एक मिलके टॉपिक डिसाइड कर लीजिए. वोटिंग कर लीजिए.
एग्जैक्टली. आई हैव अ टॉपिक.
देखो ऑर्गेनिक
हाँ भाई ऐड हो गया था.
ये ऑर्गेनिक फार्मिंग और इरिगेशन.
अरे यार भाई ऑर्गेनिक वाला बता दो. अब क्या नाम है तुम्हारा?
नहीं मैं नहीं बोल रहा हूँ. मैं बोल रहा हूँ कि ये सब छोटे टॉपिक है.
छोटे टॉपिक्स नहीं है सर.
हाँ लेकिन एक देखो डिस्कशन के लिए नहीं है ना. इसमें कोई डिसएग्री करेगा ही नहीं. ये बेसिकली कुछ
सर मेरी बात देखिए ना. मेरी बात सुनिए सर.
हाँ
राजा सर मेरी बात सुनिए. कैसा है ना, हम इरिगेशन और ऑर्गेनिक फार्मिंग जो प्रपोज कर रहे हैं, ऑपोजिशन की बात सही है. डेडलॉक इसी पे क्रिएट हो रहा है कि ऑपोजिशन को उस पर नहीं बोलना है. ठीक है. नाउ व्हाट आई एम ट्राइंग टू से हियर इज, जो सबसे जब से ग्रुप में एक सेंसिबल बात जो चल रही है वो ये है कि एक जनरलाइज टॉपिक लेते हैं एज अ सब टॉपिक टू आवर एजेंडा. हमारा एजेंडा क्या है? एग्रेरियन रिफॉर्म्स. आई प्रपोज कि वी टेक अप द टॉपिक और द सब टॉपिक ऑफ व्हाई डू वी need agrarian reforms in the country as of now.
Yeah, that would be good.
किसी भी कमिटी में जब आप कोई एजेंडा प्रेजेंट करते हैं, सबसे पहले आप डिस्कस करते हैं कि वो एजेंडा पे डिस्कशन क्यों होना चाहिए.
वाइड हो जाएगा तो
वाइड रहेगा तो फिर डिस्कशन ज्यादा
वाइड रहेगा, तभी डिस्कशन के ऑप्शन
डिस्कशन ज्यादा होगा.
वरना कोई भी टॉपिक एनडीओ
एक ही जगह बोलो ना. वो सब एक साथ बोल रहे हैं, सुनाई नहीं दे रहा. प्लीज आप अगर कोई
शॉर्ट टर्म टॉपिक
सीतारामन मैडम,
मैं बोल रहा हूँ कि सब एक टाइम पे एक ही जन बोलो ना. लोकसभा को थोड़ा तो ऑर्डर मेंटेन करो यार. मतलब यूथ पार्लियामेंट का तो एक ही जन पे एक बोलो.
हाँ सर वही चालू है यहाँ पे अभी. वही चल रहा है.
सो आई बिलीव
यस महुआ मैम बोलिए.
ये शॉर्ट डिस्कशन है तो इट विल बी काइंड ऑफ वेरी वाइड टॉपिक एंड आई एग्री इसमें सब कुछ आ जाएगा एंड डेडलॉक नहीं होगा ऑपोजिशन और रूलिंग पार्टी का. बट फिर इसके बाद के एजेंडाज रेज करना विल बी अ लिटिल डिफिकल्ट इफ वी रेज दिस एजेंडा राइट नाउ, बिकॉज़ वी हैव टू वर्क ऑन द पर्टिकुलर एजेंडा फॉर 2 days नाउ. ओके, सो थोड़ा सा डिफाइंड रखते हैं को, सो लाइक एवरीवन कैन वर्क.
तो
अभी अर्जुन सर आप कुछ बोल रहे थे.
एक दिन हम पॉलिसीज देख लेते हैं, दूसरे दिन
एक सेकंड गिरिराज सर, एक सेकंड.
इरिगेशन
राजा सर, गिरिराज सर, एक सेकंड. अभी अर्जुन सर बोल रहे थे. अर्जुन सर आप बोलिए.
हेलो अर्जुन मुंडा जी. मैं ये कहना चाहता था, फिलहाल जो मैंने डिस्कशन का टॉपिक अभी लिया है, मैं मानता हूँ ये वाइड टॉपिक, लेकिन इसके अंदर सब टॉपिक्स इंट्रोड्यूस कर सकते हैं, तो हम लोग का कोई भी डेडलॉक क्रिएट नहीं होगा. ऐसा कोई भी अगर एक पर्टिकुलर टॉपिक ले लेंगे तो कोई ना कोई मेंबर रह जाएगा, इसके लिए डेडलॉक क्रिएट हो जाएगा. तो अभी आज के लिए हमारे पास अभी बहुत टाइम से हमें आगे एजेंडा भी टॉपिक का मौका मिलेगा. तो अभी फिलहाल मेरा प्रपोजिशन ये है कि इस टॉपिक को हम पास करते हैं, क्योंकि इस पे एज सर्टेन किसी के नेगेटिव पॉइंट्स नहीं होंगे इतने ज्यादा, फिर हर कोई बोल सकता है. जनरल कंसेंसस लगभग बन जाएगा.
सॉरी आप रिपीट कर सकते हैं अर्जुन जी? आई कुडंट हियर यू.
जी मैं ये कह रहा हूँ कि आज का जैसे टॉपिक है, मैं मानता हूँ ये वाइड है, लेकिन इसमें बोलने का सबको मौका मिलेगा. वरना अभी हमारे पास इतना टाइम नहीं है कि एक एक टॉपिक को हम डिस्कस करें. हमारे पास अभी बहुत सारे मोशंस अभी आगे और भी आएंगे, जिसमें हम और टॉपिक इंट्रोड्यूस कर सकते हैं. तो फिलहाल अभी मेरा ये प्रोपोजिशन ये है कि इस टॉपिक को पास किया जाए, जिसमें हमें बोलने का एक बार सबको चांस मिलेगा. And further, we can discuss a particular agenda, more specific topic, agenda-related topics.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I have a suggestion.
Please give us 5 more minutes. We'll have decided. Just Nirmala, 1 minute. Drishik, just give us 5 more minutes, and we'll have decided our agenda in that much time. Did you get my message? Please confirm. Okay, Nirmala ma'am, एक second रुक जाइए, पहले राजा सर कुछ बोल रहे थे शायद.
Go ahead, get whatever you people feel like doing. 5 minutes और ले लो. But the point is, like, I'm not very much convinced with respect to the last few minutes of the discussion. I was listening to you people. You people are here to debate. ठीक है, ऐसा कौन सा एजेंडा है जिसमें नेगेटिव पॉइंट्स नहीं निकले? ऑपोजिशन का काम है लूप होल्स निकालना, गवर्नमेंट का काम है खुद की पॉलिसी बताना. दैट्स सिंपली हाउ अ पार्लियामेंट्री डेमोक्रेसी वर्क्स. तो ये क्या होगा कि ये चीज मेरे फेवर में, इट इज ऑन यू हाउ टू टेल थिंग्स इनटू योर फेवर, राइट? 2 मिनट आपको मिलेंगे, आपको उस टॉपिक पे क्या बोलना है. ये डेडलॉक क्रिएट ही क्यों हो रहा है, मुझे तो यही समझ नहीं आ रहा.
Exactly.
बिकॉज कोई भी चीज है, कब तक तुम लोग यूं ही डिस्कस करते रहोगे कि भाई ये टॉपिक कोई ऑपोजिशन या गवर्नमेंट का थोड़ी होता है. टॉपिक होता है, उसपे आपकी मर्जी हो. इफ यू आर फ्रॉम द गवर्नमेंट, यू फील लाइक स्पीकिंग इन फेवर, स्पीक इन फेवर. ऑपोजिशन वाला जो होगा वो तुम्हारा उल्टा बोल के धज्जियां उड़ाएगा तुम्हारी. क्वाइट सिंपल इज दैट. बीइंग द गवर्नमेंट यू हैव टू डिफेंड योर एक्शन, सिंपल. तो इसमें किसी भी टॉपिक पे डेडलॉक वाली तो स्थिति आनी नहीं चाहिए. यू हैव डिबेटेड एट द वेरी फर्स्ट इंस्टेंस.
सर बेसिकली पॉलिसी और प्रोसीजर पे बेसिस पे दो डिवाइड कर सकते हैं हम लोग.
सर मुझे नहीं पता, मुझे नहीं मतलब होना चाहिए कि आप लोग कैसे डिसाइड कर रहे हैं. दैट इज योर शिट टू हैंडल, राइट? As far as the committee is concerned, मेरा ये है कि आप जिस ग्राउंड पे काम कर रहे हैं, जिस आइडिया पे काम कर रहे हैं, वो बहुत स्टूपिडिटी भरा है. So I consider this as my basic duty to explain it to you people. Else, it is on your wise wisdom to decide as to what you people feel like doing. Okay. All right. So I'm giving you time till 11:35. I expect you people to come up with at least 5-6 agendas to discuss, and then we'll continue it further. Thank you so much, everyone.
Can I say something?
Yes, Bhupendra ji, please.
मैं ये बोल रहा हूँ कि क्या आप लोग को लगता है कि ऑर्गेनिक फार्मिंग और साथ में इरिगेशन, ये दो टॉपिक्स के ऊपर हमें बात करना चाहिए अभी?
ये दो टॉपिक सेपरेटली रख लेते हैं, बिकॉज़ दे आर टू डिफरेंट टॉपिक्स. तो सेपरेटली रख के अगर सब अग्री करते हैं तो देन लेट्स सी अबाउट इट.
तो आप अभी के अभी वोटिंग कर लीजिए, क्योंकि अगर इससे हम अगर और आगे करते जाएंगे फिर पता चला.
अभी इनफॉर्मल वोटिंग करवा रहे हैं, फॉर्मल में कोई पलट गया तो कोई कुछ कर नहीं सकता.
Exactly.
अगर that's the whole point. यादव जी, देगा नहीं.
Guys,
definitely BJP को तो नहीं देगा.
Hold on for a second.
So what is exactly on the opposition's mind?
Mohitra ma'am, Mahu ma'am.
What are the agendas that you're pursuing?
See, I have gotten 2 to 3 agendas from 2 to 3 people. I'll be quoting them. One has raised the point of MSP. The ruling party can talk about the MSPs and the opposition can definitely contradict it, because that's what we do. So if everyone would like to go with this, how about we go with this? Just let me.
महुआ जी, आप रिपीट कर सकते हैं?
MSP के ऊपर बोलने के लिए बोल रही हूँ.
किस MSP की बात हो रही है?
ओके.
सेकंड महुआ जी, सेकंड एजेंडा क्या है? मोशन.
एक मिनट. Just give me a minute. I'll tell you.
Yeah, sure.
Second topic was I believe वो agrarian reforms की जो policies आई हैं, we need to talk upon them. The government will talk what they have done for the agrarian reforms in India, recent developments basically, or the opposition can contradict it. Like for example, मतलब मैं example क्या ही दूँ, आप सब समझ ही रहे हैं यहाँ पे. तो मतलब
हाँ, आप सिर्फ मोशंस बता दीजिए, बाकी का we'll look into it. Yes. The third one, please.
First one, like I said, MSP. Second one was intent and effectiveness of the agrarian reforms in India. I guess we got this here as well on the meet as well. Just a minute. Third one was basically farm laws के ऊपर था. It has been said कि farm laws के ऊपर we can talk. How government has been ignoring farmers and how government isn't ignoring the farmers.
वो तो MSP में ही आ
Please go
गया
ahead.
ना, मतलब फार्म लॉस वाला तो MSP से
We
रिलेटेड
are
है.
taking a subtopic out of
Actually,
that.
MSP फार्म लॉज के अंदर आएगा. फार्म लॉज का
मतलब वही टॉपिक है.
Right,
MSP
right.
का जो टॉपिक है
Hmm.
that will come under farm laws ka topic. So if the farm laws ka topic is introduced, people can also talk about this MSP. People can also talk about irrigation for that matter. People can also talk about
Wait, can you guys tell me the verbatim for raising
organic farming,
like the point?
Sorry,
can you tell me the verbatim for raising a point? Like, let's say I want to raise, a topic of this. So how do I raise it?
Please ask speakers. Even I am not sure about it.
Okay. Now
Should say like I, Akhilesh Yadav, would like to raise a point for discussion for total time being this and per individual time speakers time this. That's it.
Okay, cool.
Exactly. See, now on part of the NDA,
so
I have three topics
sorry,
in my mind.
I'll just
a second, Ms. Mohitra.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Sorry,
Yeah,
sorry
go ahead.
to interrupt
Go ahead.
you. I'd be raising the point of farm laws. So if everyone agrees with me, we will pass this motion. I am not asking because I feel everyone would be able to talk about it and it's not very wide topic. क्योंकि इसके बाद हम आगे भी बात कर सकते हैं कौन सी जगह. Please go ahead, Hardeep ji. Sorry.
Yes, thank you. I was saying ki now since we know the opposition's agendas and motions, we can also look at once the government's motions, right? So first of all, as we've been about irrigation, we have discussed a lot. निर्मला मैम, उसके अंदर कुछ ऐसा पॉइंट जो आपने अभी तक ऐड नहीं किया है and you can add it in 30 seconds. Please go ahead with it. Otherwise, we can consider it ki it's upon a deadlock.
Yeah, so irrigation can be a very important topic. And with irrigation, we can say how we are making dam safety on how we are making connecting the rivers like this. The subtopics.
Okay, cool. Secondly, organic farming का हमारे पास option था. So, who introduced it? If you can please in 30 seconds add something that you haven't added yet.
सर मैंने इंट्रोड्यूस किया था. सर मैं ये कहना चाहता हूँ कि ऑर्गेनिक फार्मिंग के अंदर हम सब टॉपिक रख सकते हैं कि कैंपेनिंग एंड अवेयरनेस ऑफ ऑर्गेनिक फार्मिंग एंड बेनिफिट्स.
Nice. Okay. And third agenda मैंने introduce किया था, which was why do we need agrarian reforms in this? In 30 seconds, if I would quickly like to add a point. Yes, yes, please go ahead.
We have a third agenda that should take precedence over all this is land leasing का issue. क्योंकि a lot of states have grey laws on land leasing, which makes अगर जमीन ही नहीं होगी तो खेती कहाँ करेंगे? Yeah, which also gets us under the topic of corporate farming and tenancy laws.
बिल्कुल सही है, लेकिन जैसे जो हमने अभी 3 एजेंडा डिस्कस किया खत्म तो हो जाने दीजिए. मतलब आपका एजेंडा लिया जाएगा, लेकिन जो बोल रहा है उसके
5 एजेंडा रेज
एजेंडा के पास
मैं एक बात बताऊंगा. We can pass multiple short period discussions and we can talk on order of disruption.
सर आप बिल्कुल सही, लेकिन आप बोलने तो दीजिए.
हमें भी पता है, जस्ट
एक करके.
हाँ, एग्जैक्टली. जस्ट अ सेकंड. नाउ हमने अभी यहाँ जितने भी एजेंडास डिस्कस किए हैं, चाहे वो ऑपोजिशन के हो चाहे वो एनडीए के हो. ऑपोजिशन के फार्म लॉज हो सकते हैं, एनडीए का इरिगेशन हो सकता है, ऑर्गेनिक फार्मिंग हो सकता है. सी द होल पॉइंट इज इफ वी इंट्रोड्यूस द एन अम्ब्रेला एजेंडा इनटू द मीटिंग, द थिंग इज कि उसके अंदर फिर एनडीए गवर्नमेंट को जो अपने पॉइंट्स रखने हैं गवर्नमेंट अपने पॉइंट रख सकती है, ऑपोजिशन को जो अपने पॉइंट्स रखने हैं वो अपने पॉइंट रख सकते हैं. And also, the cherry on the cake is that they can also counter each other as to the points that they don't feel comfortable or they feel the opposite side is wrong with. So that is why I was trying to introduce एन अम्ब्रेला एजेंडा जिसके अंदर हम ऑर्गेनिक फार्मिंग की भी बात कर पाएंगे, मोदी जी आप बोल रहे हैं उसकी भी बात कर पाएंगे, निर्मला जी आप जो बोल रहे हैं उसकी भी, महुआ जी ने जो 3 टॉपिक्स इंट्रोड्यूस किए हम उनकी भी बात कर पाएंगे. वी कैन टॉक अबाउट एवरीथिंग इन दैट. दिस इज अ शॉर्ट डिस्कशन. शॉर्ट डिस्कशन नहीं होता है सिर्फ
टॉपिक कवर्स लाइक 7 टॉपिक्स, तो फिर आप 7 मतलब
Sir, it is like a moderated caucus. You can't keep an umbrella topic. That is the whole problem.
You have to be specific. Now, the entire point of discussion is you have to be specific.
It's not a moderated caucus. This is not an MUN.
It
This
is
is something that you
not,
talk
but
about in
it
your
is
own.
supposed to be.
Exactly. That is my whole point. This is not a model United Nations.
In Parliament, you speak your heart out.
अखिलेश जी बोल लीजिएगा, but topic तो decide कर लीजिए. 2 दिन आपके पास बोलने के लिए.
It's on the intent and effectiveness of agrarian reforms in India.
Support नहीं मिला भाई. वही तो 2 दिन का टॉपिक है. 15 मिनट का टॉपिक है.
That is, sir, Akhilesh sir, what you are saying is basically the crux of the committee.
एक मिनट.
Yeah, that's
You are trying to wind up in 30 minutes.
एक मिनट जिसको जो
intent and effectiveness is a specific thing, right? It's about how they raised it, why they raised it. Modi can talk about.
Talk about agrarian reforms. What are you referring to? Land consolidation, land sealing, land reforms, tenancy. What exactly?
Arey, it will lead the flow of the committee, na first.
एक मिनट देखिए, अखिलेश जी को लग रहा है कि इंटेंट एंड एग्जीक्यूशन या जो भी ऑफ एग्रीरियन रिफॉर्म्स इंपॉर्टेंट है तो वो रखेंगे कमेटी में, उस पे वोट कर लेंगे हम. अभी डिबेट करने का पॉइंट नहीं है कि वो अच्छा टॉपिक है या नहीं. वो कमेटी में
anyways need to raise 5 to 6 motions, so एक pass, and still people can have a lot of motions in their head, and so many teams.
I feel like when we talk about the farm laws, I think the intent of the government on agrarian reforms will very much be covered.
Yeah, I agree with you. This is why I was saying farm laws ke upar let's have a discussion, because the ruling party can also talk about it, and the opposition can also talk about it, and the changes that have been occurred over a period of time, we can also talk about them. So I believe कि जो recent changes है वो उसमें पूरे आ जाएंगे. So how about we raise a motion about that?
Right. I would also like to propose another motion. Where we can talk about how climate change has affected agriculture, and how, I mean, agriculture and climate change both go hand in hand, right?
Yeah.
Agriculture does contribute to climate change, and climate change has adverse effects on agriculture. So perhaps we can talk about that relationship and how our agrarian reforms need to be made, keeping that in mind.
राहुल जी, इटली में सूखा पड़ा है, थोड़ा उसके बारे में भी देख लीजिए.
मोदी जी प्लीज.
सर या तो आप अभी मोशन के लिए पॉइंट रेज करवा लीजिए,
ये क्या
या फिर कमेंट्स पास कर लीजिए.
हाँ ये कर लो.
Informal session, you can't get like personal.
आपको क्या प्रॉब्लम हो रहा है? आप तो काली माता को बोल रहे हैं.
We're not reaching a conclusion right now, and that is wasting committee time. Can we just move on from this banter?
Let's work on that. Now, don't make personal comments.
It is 11:37 right now. We had time till 11:35. I think we have covered enough topics. We can wind this up.
Yeah, right. So we have 5, I guess, 5 motions by now.
महुआ मैम.
सर बोलिए क्या हुआ आपको?
मैं ये बोल रहा हूँ कि आप एक बार ये सभी टॉपिक लोकसभा वाले ग्रुप पे डाल दीजिए कि सबको एक बार पता चल जाए कि क्या होने वाला है बस.
ओके सर.
सर वो वहाँ पे पास
डाल सकते हैं, ठीक है.
सर थोड़ा
that is not a problem. I won't.
नहीं, लेकिन आपको एक मौका मिलेगा ना न्यूज़ में जाने का.
नहीं, मैं खुश हूँ. I would rather not be on news for this reason. आप ले लीजिए ना वो क्रेडिट. बेटर बीजेपी का वो भी हो जाएगा.
मैम क्रेडिट वगैरह ठीक है, हम अभी डिस्कस कर रहे हैं, अभी बोल देंगे एजेंडा डिस्कस.
Sir, he is making personal comments. How can I
just go back to formal committee?
बहुत बढ़िया. कोई खास दिक्कत वाली बात नहीं है. पर्सनल कमेंट्स में कहीं समस्या होनी नहीं चाहिए. अभी रिसेंटली स्मृति ईरानी ने सोनिया गांधी जी को दी है, कोई समस्या वाली बात नहीं. All right, so with this being said and done, I believe we have lapsed the time जो आप लोगों को दिया गया था.
Honorable Speaker sir.
हाँ भाई साहब.
सर आपने जो भी स्मृति ईरानी जी का और सोनिया गांधी जी का जो टॉपिक एकदम छेड़ दिया है, और मेरे को लग रहा है कि आगे प्रोसीडिंग में इसका हंगामा होगा.
मेरे को क्या पता. खैर कोई बात नहीं, आगे आप प्रोसीडिंग पे ध्यान दीजिए. समस्या क्या है ना कि ये एक्चुअल लोकसभा नहीं. तो अगर आप अत्यधिक बदतमीजी पे आएंगे तो आपको बाहर निकाल दिया जाएगा मीटिंग से, and we will have a discussion happily ever after. Okay. So that being said and done, Narendra, to what point you rise? All right, the house is back in formal session. Narendra, to what point you rise?
So first of all, point of personal privilege. I could not hear your last two sentences. Apologies for the network issue.
The house is back in order in formal session. Narendra Modi, to what point you rise?
Sir, I would like to have a short period discussion on the topic of land leasing reforms for a total time of 15 minutes, per speaker time 1.5 minutes.
Total time 15 minutes.
Yes, sir, and per speaker time 90 seconds.
Perfect. Okay, wonderful. Good. The next, Ms. Mahua Mohta, to what point you rise? Mahua, you are still on mute.
I, Mahua Moitra, would like to raise short period discussion on farm laws for 30 minutes per person speaking time, 1.5 minutes.
For 30 minutes per speaker's timing, 1.5 minutes, right?
Yes.
And may I hear back the agenda? क्या agenda था? No, will you please mind repeating the agenda?
So my apology, I just got disconnected. Can you hear me? Speaker sir?
Audible.
Okay. Speaker sir, the motion was for short period discussion on farm laws.
Short period discussion on farm laws. Perfect. We'll have one more. Manesh Srinivas Reddy. So to what point you rise?
Sir, I was having the same.
All right, sir, if you are having the same, kindly put it down. No? Put your hand down. अगर हो गया किसी और ने उठा दिया तो कोई बात नहीं. Yeah, Nirmala Sitharaman ji, to what point you rise?
I want to raise the. I, Nirmala Sitharaman, member of Lok Sabha, want to raise the point. Want to raise the point on the discussion on irrigation.
Nirmala Sitharaman is not a member of Lok Sabha.
Okay, sorry, sir. By mistake, sir. I, Nirmala Sitharaman, as a minister, wanted to raise, as a finance minister, wanted to raise the point of irrigation. How irrigation need to be supported, as irrigation is one of the main issues, and for the time allocation, it will be 10-30 minutes per speaker, 1 minute.
Sir, क्या topic है?
Sir, topic है irrigation, discussion on irrigation, why irrigation is important, and what we as a government we have for irrigation.
All right, sir. Thank you so much. Thanks a lot.
And I apologize, sir, for telling Rajya Sabha because वो थोड़ा सा वो हो गया था, sorry.
नहीं, हाँ भैया कोई बात नहीं. आगे बढ़े. चलिए, by the discretion of the chair, we will first vote upon the motion proposed by Madam Mahua Moitra, which is for a discussion on the farm laws for a total time period of 30 minutes per speaker's time by 1.5 minutes. Those in favor of this discussion may raise their hands now. Wonderful. बहुत अच्छे, considering 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh wait, 12. Votes at disposal. This motion fails. All right. Next, we'll vote upon the motion proposed by the Honorable Prime Minister for a total time period of 15 minutes, per speaker's time being 1 minute, for a discussion on the land lease policy. Those in favor may raise their hands now. Those in favor may raise their hands now. This motion fails. Next, we will vote upon the motion proposed by the Honorable Finance Minister India, Srimati Nirmala Sitharaman, for a discussion on irrigation policy of India. Those in favor may raise their hands. Wonderful. This motion fails too. And honorable members of the House, may I know what did you people do in the last 30 minutes then? तो मुझे बताएगा आधे घंटे में क्या किया है आपने?
Sir, some people are abstaining from voting despite so much discussion. Nobody is.
Abstaining from voting is an altogether different issue. The point is, why aren't you people voting in favor?
Sir, if you may permit, I would like to raise a motion.
All right, sir. Okay. Yes, go ahead.
And I also would like to raise a motion. Pradeep Singh.
Okay. Yeah, Dilanjan goes on.
Sir, may I also raise a motion?
Sir, may I also raise a motion?
अरे भाई 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 डट जाओ फिर डटो we'll be seeking motions. Dilanjan Goswami, followed by Hardeep Puri, followed by Nirmala ji. To what point have you risen? Just wait for a minute. Nirmala Sitharaman, to what point have you risen?
No, sir, I don't want to raise any point. I was just lower. I just didn't lower my hand. Just lower it. Okay, we can continue, sir. Go ahead.
All right. Thank you for your permission, sir. Much obliged. Yeah, Dilanjan Goswami, go ahead, please.
I, Dulan Chandra Goswami, would like to raise a motion to have a short period discussion on the topic of need for free market enterprise in the agricultural sector for 20 minutes, per speaker time 2 minutes.
Will you mind repeating the topic again?
Need for free market enterprise in the agricultural sector.
Okay, thank you. 20 and 2 minutes, right?
Yes, sir.
Perfect. Mr. Hardeep Singh Puri, so can we have your agenda, please?
I would like to move for a short period discussion on the agenda. Why and what agricultural reforms does the country need? With a total time of 20 minutes, per speaker time 1 minute. Hello.
What sort of agricultural reforms do we need?
Yes. Why and what agriculture? Why and what? That's the simple line.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Manesh Srinivas Reddy sir, to what point you rise?
Hello, sir. I, Manesh Srinivas Reddy, would like to raise a short period discussion on India's.
अभी आपका टर्न डाउन हुआ था ना?
सर नहीं, मेरा नहीं हुआ.
उससे पहले नहीं हुआ था आपका?
नहीं सर, वो गलती से हाथ रेस था, मतलब मेरा और महुआ मोहित्रा जी का एक ही टॉपिक था, तो मैंने हाथ हटा लिया था पीछे।
चलिए बोलो।
I, Mane Srinivas Reddy, will like to raise short period discussion on topic of India's stance on Russia-Ukraine war in UNSC, of duration 20 minutes and per person 1 minute.
Sir, is it pertaining to the agenda at hand? Reddy sir, I asked you a question.
What, sir? Can you repeat?
Is it something related to the agenda at hand?
No, sir.
Then will you please enlighten me as to why I should consider taking this motion?
Okay, sorry, sir. I am taking it back.
Wonderful, thank you. All right, so the next is that we'll first vote upon the motion proposed by Shri Deliberation Goswami as for a free market requirements for in the agricultural sector. Those in favor may raise their hands now. Only 13 votes. This motion fails. And next we vote upon the motion proposed by Shri Hardeep Singh Puri. Why and what agricultural reforms do we need? For total time period 30 minutes. Per speaker's timing 1.5 minutes. Those in favor may raise their hands now. देखो कोई दिक्कत वाली बात नहीं है. I am seeing 14 hands raised. I at least require 17. And we have 17 now. Thank you so much, people. Hardeep Puri Sahab, will you like to introduce your sub-agenda?
I beg your pardon?
Will you like to introduce the agenda?
Hello.
Sir, will you like to introduce the agenda?
I was, yeah, I wanted to go last.
Sir, नहीं, last वाला option नहीं.
Does that?
Yeah, either you will speak right now or you reserve your right. Simple as that.
Yeah, I'm
reserve
speaking.
your right. कोई guarantee नहीं होती. चलिए बहुत अच्छा. Just give me a minute, please.
Yeah, sure, sir.
Drishik, are you there? Yeah. So I've texted you something. Kindly take it.
Yes, sir, sure.
Perfect. Okay, go to.
I will be recognizing all of the motion. First of all, I request everyone to take their hands down. I will be recognizing speakers once everyone's hands are. I request participants take their hands down. Mr. Hardeep Singh Puri, can you please take your hand down?
Yeah, I'm trying to. There's a
Am I
small
audible
network issue.
clearly? Parliamentarians wishing to speak for the motion, please.
माननीय डिप्टी स्पीकर महोदय, आप वापस कह सकते हैं क्या कहा?
parliamentarians wishing to speak for this motion, please raise your hand. P. Lal Rotanga, followed by Eknath Shinde, followed by Sudhir Bandyopadhyay, followed by Rahul Gandhi, followed by Narendra Modi, followed by Rajnath Singh. Yes, yes, parliamentarians.
Can you repeat? I cannot hear you. Once again, can you repeat?
I would put up the list in the chat box once I am done recognizing the speaker. Rajnath Singh, followed by Mahua Moitra, followed by Hardeep Singh Puri, followed by Supriya Sule, followed by Shri Bhupendra Yadav, followed by A. Raja, followed by Giriraj Singh, followed by Narendra Singh Tony, followed by Nirmala Sitaraman, followed by Arjun Munda, followed by Farooq Abdullah, followed by Dulan Chandra Goswami. For now, let's begin. I would be recognizing speakers later towards the end of this current. The first speaker time is 1 minute. Yes, please.
Can the topic be put in the chat box for the perusal of the parliamentarians?
Yeah.
Hardeep Singh Puri, can you please put up the topic in the chat box?
Could the deputy
Yes.
speaker please
Yes.
put the list of the speaker in the chat box?
Will Deputy Speaker Mahoday let in Akhilesh Yadav in the meet?
We would be putting up the speakers list. Lal Rotanga, can you please begin with the speech? The first speaker time is 1 minute.
So, should I begin?
Yes, just give me a moment. OC member Dave, can you please share the timer?
Honorable Deputy Speaker, sir. NRA's agenda.
You aren't audible. Shri Bhupendra Yadav.
सर क्या मैं एक एजेंडा रेस कर सकता हूँ?
सर एजेंडा रेज अभी नहीं कर सकते आप, क्योंकि अभी जो मोशन है वो फिलहाल पास हो गया है. आप ये जब मोशन elapse हो जाएगा फिर आप रेज कर पाएंगे.
Deputy Speaker, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, Shri, Eknath Shinde.
सर प्लीज स्पीकर्स की लिस्ट आप चैट बॉक्स में अपडेट कर देंगे
हाँ
क्या?
वही अपडेट है, वो लिस्ट फॉर्मुलेट करके जस्ट डाल.
ओके थैंक
Maybe the first can go ahead. The timer is 1 minute, if I'm correct.
Okay. So
I
the
will.
timer won't be displayed on the screen here.
Well, the OC member is working on it. Till then you can begin. I'm maintaining the timer here too.
Okay. So according to me, crop diversification is the need of the hour, and BJP doesn't seem to understand the pressing nature of this intricate issue. Remember the farm laws that were about to be passed by Modi ji and laws. They were taken back because our farmer brothers are obviously smarter than the government. One of those laws had a truly sinister design. It was going to let in corporate players, private companies to dictate what sort of crops the farmers should grow. So the kind of this kind of makes the state capitalist society where the companies dictate how the government functions. So contract farming as we know it can be very detrimental to the health of farmers. They overwork the farmers like slaves, and they are paid a small percentage of the actual revenue earned. So farmers cannot experiment with newer crops. They cannot let the soil rest and replenish the nutrients. They have to grow things which the companies want, and they cannot grow stuff like pulses, spices, or fruits and vegetables. We also need to promote horticulture and oil seeds, since these are a really big part of the market currently. And all I would like to say is crop diversification needs to be looked into. Thank you.
Points well noted. Shri Eknath Shinde, please go ahead.
So yeah, thank you, honorable speaker, for letting me speak in this house. So coming to the topic, which is why do we need agriculture reforms in the country and what should they be? The first is why. Because to relocate the agriculture resources. Second, to build equity in rural population and improvement of employment rate and productivity. Third, to remove intermediate classes and secure a proper land management system. As earlier, the zamindars created under the British Raj used to acquire land from the British government at a low price, and they can intermediate class to collect taxes easily. This class had no direct relationship with agriculture or land, so the economic security of the poor peasant lost completely. Fourth is the increase in the standard of living of the farmer and their overall wealth. Coming to the second part of the question is the what measures should they be? According to census of 2011, the average land holding was 1.15 hectare, and 85% farmers own less than 2 hectares of the land, which is an obstacle for the implementation of mechanized farming. And the average land holding size for the farmers has been steadily declining from 2.28 hectares in 1970s to 0.83 hectares in 2019. We should formulate the policies in such a way that the fragmentation of land, which is kept on increasing in the coming years, should decline, as the 50% population of a country depends directly or indirectly on the agriculture sector, and it only contributes approx 17.8% of to the GDP. We should focus more on the
Delegate.
modernization
Sir, you have
of the.
overshot your time.
So I will conclude on that we should build policies focusing on the overall development of the farmers, instead focusing on only a single single part of them. Thank you.
Points well noted. Parliamentarians, to what point do you rise? I see 5 hands being raised here. Can you please
yes, may I?
lower your hand? Yes, Hardeep Singh Puri, please go ahead. To what point do you
Yes, this
rise?
is a point of parliamentary inquiry.
Yes, please go ahead.
Do we have questions or comments after speeches?
No, not for this motion. Current. And parliamentarians, I really request you to not over your time as the speech, as the content of the speech after the particular time limit has been passed, it won't be. So I hope you please stay in the time frame. Mr. A. Raja, to what point do you rise? Mr. A. Raja, you aren't audible. Or he
Hello.
His
Sir.
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes, you are.
Yeah.
Seems that there's a network issue at my side. Just give me a moment. I'll check my Wi-Fi.
Yes, so the same goes with me as well.
Like this is only a certain number of people who are recognized, and many others were also recognized.
Okay. Let this rectify. Is it okay if I add you on below?
Yeah,
Take
it
the
will
chat
do
now.
it.
Yes, sir.
Yes, you are.
I'm so sorry. Delegate. Even I'm facing severe network in the list. We have
Hello,
Deep
Mr.
Bandyopadhyay.
Yes, am I audible?
Yes, you're audible.
Okay.
Please go
Okay. Honorable Deputy Speaker, sir, much obliged for the recognition. I believe every individual nation in the world has a message to grow a strong and prosperous and retain a place of honor of great nations. I believe that can only be done the reforms which would I suggest that the government should bring in are first, the second I would say organization focused on modernization in the agriculture through the technological things. The third was the most vital, that was the farmers' education, and require crops.
Can you please send the solution to the chat box if possible?
Crop insurance
guarantee, like MSP on varied list of shelf life is combined with newer forms of agriculture like aeroponics and food irradiation, which is established. We need to reinvest in a more diverse agriculture and regenerate the earth and set community.
Points well noted. Further, we have seen Narendra Modi.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, you.
Also, do I happen to be visible?
Yes.
All right. So you can start the timer on 3, 2, 1 now. As the parliamentarians before me noted, there is an imminent need for crop diversification and early procurement of crops, which I find fairly ironic, because it is the government procuring on MSP that there is a huge procurement from of wheat and paddy from Punjab and Haryana, where paddy growth takes 3 times the water that it should take in Bihar. But since the government is procuring the same, the farmers are more inclined to grow the same. Furthermore, we have increased MSPs already, as Sri Rahul Gandhi ji said before me. It is highly ironic that these same people do not support the farm laws when the main pointer of having short cash crops being purchased by private players ensured that there was a timely procurement and buying of cash crops by private players, so that APMCs do not have to take all the burden. Furthermore, APMCs, it is not feasible for farmers to sell their cash crops in APMC because short period cash crops mature in a diverse period, which is fairly hilarious because Rahul Gandhi himself does not support the APMC laws that were brought recently, but he would suggest the same to be made to be reformed again. Thank you. Also, point of personal privilege, I cannot see the timer moving. It's stuck at 52 for me.
Yes, even for me too. And your time.
Yeah,
because I am maintaining the timer at my.
It was a network glitch.
All right, no issues.
Will noted. Further, Mr. Sri Rajnath Singh.
Honorable and the respected members of the House, the 21st century. And in order to keep up with global trends of the world, we need to keep rediscovering ourselves. And this extends to the agriculture sector as well. And I am proud to say the government is trying our best to reforms for annadatas. Position. Our government has tried to, along with that, our interest crop failures.
Sir, you aren't audible clearly.
Now, better?
Yeah, much better. Please go.
So since point of order are valid, do we raise it during the speech of the speaker or after the speech?
After the speech, sir, because it would be disrupting the current speaker's speech.
सर बट इस सब एजेंडा के लिए तो हम लोग पॉइंट ऑफ ऑर्डर और पॉइंट ऑफ इंफॉर्मेशन वैलिड नहीं कर रहे थे स्टार्टिंग से. सर ये स्टार्टिंग में क्वेश्चन आया था, इस वजह से किसी ने अब तक एक भी ऑर्डर नहीं
Yes, sir.
रेज
हमको
किया
बोला
है।
ज्यादा करना।
स्पीकर सर ने क्लैरिफाई किया गया है।
हाँ
सर पर हम उनमें से किसी ने एक भी अब तक ऑर्डर या इंफॉर्मेशन रेज नहीं किया, जस्ट बिकॉज इसलिए क्योंकि हमें स्टार्टिंग में ही बोला गया कि इस सब एजेंडा के लिए एक भी ऑर्डर नहीं लिया जा रहा है।
अच्छा, तो फिर सॉरी फॉर द कंफ्यूजन फ्रॉम माय साइड। तो फिर हरदीप सर, इट वोंट बी वैलिड।
थैंक्स। ओके सर।
Actually, I'm sorry for the confusion. I think I couldn't hear speakers mentioning the same. Hence, there was a confusion.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for the clarification, Shri Parvati. Further, we have Mawa Moitra. You have the floor for the next one.
Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Okay, sir. I'll start. Honorable Speaker, sir, Deputy Speaker, sir, and my respected members of Parliament. Yes, India needs reforms, but that which is pro-people and not pro-corporate. There's no doubt that reforms are needed in the agriculture sector because we have been made sure that without cars, bungalows, airplanes, expensive phones, and other luxurious items, we can live. But bread is vital to the survival, and the pandemic has made it very, very clear to us. Reforms that need to be made in the field of agriculture to sustain the existence of human life must include 7 basic necessities of life: bread, clothing, housing, education, healthcare, clean environment, and social security. In 1951, 81% of India's population depended on the agriculture for their livelihood, which accounted for about 55% of the national income. At present, 50% of the country's population is dependent on the agriculture for their livelihood, which accounts only to about 16% of the national income during 2018 to 19. Various studies have researchers in India have conducted and have said that trickle down policy that we are using here to corporatize the agriculture sector has widened the gap between the poor and the rich. Most farmers, barring the large ones, are indebted to such an extent that they're not even in a position to pay interest on debts, that they are compelled to take fresh loans to keep their stove burnings for the sake of just 2 square meals per day. Although agriculture
Sorry to
laborers...
interrupt, but you have overshot your time, and I would like to request to parliamentarians that if you are overshooting your time, the content of the speech won't be marked. Please
So
note
I would
that.
like to conclude my speech, just 30 seconds. The government needs to work on the corporatization, and it should be more of pro people and not just pro corporate. Indian government needs to see and look after its people. Thank you.
Point well noted. Further, we have Supriya Sule.
So at first, I would like to highlight the point that why is there a need of agricultural reforms or agrarian reforms? Had there not been enough already done by the government in these previous 75 years? But we still lack somewhere because of the infrastructure, lack of irrigation facilities, climate change, of lands. There is a lot of legalities to be done. There's a lot of scope in agriculture which is still not implemented. Providing institutional support such as rural business hubs and strengthening of FPOs for small and marginal farmers to actualize the right prices is essential. With adverse climate change impacts, reforms are needed to help farmers to mitigate the risks of weather and price volatility. The current government's agenda for doubling farmers' income has been much discussed. यहाँ पर लोगों को खाने के लिए पैसे नहीं है, आप सर डबलिंग इनकम डबल करने की बात कर रहे हैं. This farmers are committing suicide, and here you are trying to focus on doubling farmers' income. आपने ये भी कहा कि हम सालाना 6,000 रुपए देते हैं फार्मर्स को. Is that enough? 6,000 में आज आता क्या है? अब इतने में उनका साल भर का सर्वाइवल, how do you note it? How do you even keep the gut to speak such things? The MSP is a legal right. आप उनके ऊपर कोई
आप उनके ऊपर वेलफेयर आप उसको वेलफेयर में नहीं कंसिडर कर सकते. It's not something which is to be considered as a welfare scheme. उनका हक है, वो उतना
Ma'am,
डिजर्व
I'm
करते हैं,
sorry to interrupt.
and that should be
I
allowed.
overshot your time. Please check the chat box, and I apologize on the behalf of the organizing committee that they are facing technical issues regarding the timer. But again, I would like to emphasize on the fact that all these speeches after the time limit is overshot, it won't be marked. And please remain in the time frame.
Sir, is it just me or everyone's screen is stuck? Like I can't see the time.
Everyone.
Yeah, the timer isn't operating right
No,
now.
no,
It
no,
will be
sir.
operating from the
Previously as well. When
Is
Priya
the
doesn't.
timer working now? Can you see the timer
Yeah,
working
it's
now?
working now. I'm sorry, it lagged and I could not note that I was exceeding the time. But here I would like to conclude that MSP is a huge part and should be included everywhere. Doubling farmers' income should not be something which should be said, but their survival is what is important.
points well noted. Honorable Prime Minister, to what point do you rise?
The point of parliamentary inquiry. Can
Please
we
go ahead.
actually start taking points of orders, because a lot of statements are being thrown around, and since we can't exactly question the speeches here, it would be a bit beneficial if we start taking points of orders.
So, due to constraint and due to the number of speakers, I don't think for this motion we would be able to take the same. We have 30 speakers.
So
It would
point
take a
of
lot
orders
of time.
via chit
I
will
hope
also be fine.
via chat.
As in we
अगले
use the
एजेंडा में ये कर लेंगे, क्योंकि स्टार्टिंग से ही नहीं चला रहा है कोई भी पॉइंट ऑर्डर या इंफॉर्मेशन हम लोग सर नहीं ले रहे हैं, तो फिर ये अगले एजेंडा के लिए.
Well, I hope Farooq Abdullah made a point here. The only problem being we are done with quite number of speakers, and considering them now, it would be unfair to the previous speakers.
That's fine, sir. But since from the next agenda, can we please consider?
Yes, I would surely consider.
Thank you, sir.
Mr. Dulan Chandra Goswami, is the timer visible now? It hasn't been started.
Sir, the timer for me is still loading.
It seems that it is a network issue at your side.
Yeah, the timer is on from this side.
It is working for everyone.
So should I leave and join again, or can you put message in the chat box that 30 seconds remaining, 15 seconds remaining if possible?
Sure, but you can leave and join
Should
again.
I
Please
do that?
leave.
Okay.
Further, we have Bhupendra Yadav. Sir, is the timer visible?
Yes, sir. Timer is visible.
Please go ahead.
नमस्कार अध्यक्ष महोदय, आपने मुझे बोलने का समय दिया, आपकी बड़ी कृपा है। सर, मैं आज ये इशू रेज करना चाहता हूँ कि भारत के किसान, जो कि हमारा देश एक कृषि प्रधान देश है और अन्नदाता सुखभव, ऐसा हम बोलते हैं कि अन्नदाता आप सुखी रहिए, लेकिन क्या 75 साल में पिछली सरकारों ने किसानों के ऊपर ध्यान दिया कि सिर्फ उन्होंने अपने परिवारों के ऊपर ही सिर्फ उन्होंने फोकस किया कि कैसे उनका परिवार राजनीति में आगे बढ़े। सर, आज जो सरकार हमारी बिल लेके आ रही है वो एक बहुत ही क्रांतिकारी बिल रहेगा और इससे हमारे किसान भाइयों को ही फायदा होगा और उनके परिवारों को फायदा होगा, ना कि किसी एक परिवार, ना किसी एक वंश को फायदा होगा। सर, मैं आपसे कहना चाहता हूं कि इस बिल को सभी दल पास करते हैं तो ये किसानों का अपमान महसूस किया जाएगा। धन्यवाद अध्यक्ष महोदय।
Points well noted, sir. Further, we have Hardeep Singh Puri. Sir, please go ahead.
Yes, just a second. Am I clearly audible?
Yes, sir, you are.
Okay. Just a second. Played forever. By
Your voice is breaking.
small holding sizes, things like
Voice is breaking.
I'll try to do. Yeah, hold on. Now, I mean, am I audible?
Same issue, sir.
Hello. Is it right? Hello.
Sir, you aren't audible.
Yeah, am I now, Mr.
A
Speaker?
bit clear.
Yeah, a bit clearer. Cool. So, shall I
Yeah,
start
and
then?
please go a bit slow as there may be times where you aren't audible, so we will be able to understand things.
Yeah, absolutely. So, 3, 2, 1. Mr. Speaker, the Indian agricultural system has now been plagued by problems such as fragmentation due to small holding sizes, weather dependence, over dependence on the weather, production uncertainties, huge wastage of crops in the form of discarded or lately purchased crops, market unpredictability, shortage of storage facilities, which is one of the key issues that the farm laws were addressing. This is also a very big problem facing the Indian agricultural system. These issues can be addressed through things like increasing the production and cost-effective production actually, and efficient monetization of produce to increase farmer income. These things were the problem. These problems were the things that the farm laws were seek to address. Now, people have been pointing out that we have been inviting corporates in, but they haven't seen that the corporates who were invited were not allowed in contract farming to sell, lease, or purchase the lands of farmers. And also with that, this is what we believe the Indian agricultural system currently needs. Yeah, these issues can only be addressed if we come on a single platform and work together.
Point well noted, sir. Further, we have the finance minister, Nirmala Sitharaman.
Yes. Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, you are clearly audible.
Yes, sir.
I hope the timer is visible.
Yeah. Timer is visible. Okay, sir. Respected, yes, 1, 2, 3, start. Respected Deputy Speaker, sir. Thank you for allowing me to speak on such an important issue that is a backbone of our economy, which is agriculture. When I was listening to many opposition MPs, I listened to my MPs. Opposition was telling about the MSME. I want to make it clear, sir, about MSME. We made a clear system to direct transfer. The corruption was not there in MSME. We may now the MSME price are directly the cash benefits through cash benefits, they are directly transferred into the accounts of the farmers. And during the Rabi season of 2020-2022, sir, we have procured 433.44 lakh metric tons of wheat, which was produced by the government at the MSP, and it was highest ever procured. It was the very highest procurement at this record. So I want to just end that when we say reforms, we have done many reforms. There are irrigation, we have PM Sinchai Yojana, which is providing water, and which is a very important subject. With this, I'd like to end the speech with telling this, that please support this bill and do not mislead.
Points well noted. Further, we have Arjun Munda.
Yes. Am I audible?
Yes.
Thank you. So, आज मैं आप सबके सामने बताना चाहूंगा कि हमारे किसान भाई बंधु हमारे देश का अभिमान है। वैसे ही मैं एक और इंसान के बारे में आपको आज बताना चाहता हूं, जिन्हें हमारी भारत सरकार ने पद्म पुरस्कार से नवाजा है, जिनका नाम है सुभाष पालेकर, जो महाराष्ट्र से आते हैं, जिन्होंने जीरो बजट खेती का विचार विकसित किया है, जिसको हमारे प्रधानमंत्री श्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी का और हमारी गवर्नमेंट का पूर्ण समर्थन है, जिसे हमारे भारत के किसानों को आत्मनिर्भर और सक्षम बनाने में मदद होगी। हमारी गुजरात कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंसी का डांग जिला इसका एक प्रमुख प्रमाण है, जिसे आज के दिन में प्राकृतिक खेती जिला घोषित कर दिया गया है। देश के और इसके आसपास के गांव के कई किसान यह खुद कह चुके हैं कि यह हमारे लिए बहुत ही लाभदायक है। सो हमारी सरकार इस जीरो बजट खेती विचार को पूर्ण समर्थन देती है और इसी के साथ आगे बढ़ना चाहती है, क्योंकि यह जीरो बजट खेती किसानों के जीवन में उन्नति ला रहा है। सो हमारी सरकार इसे पूर्ण समर्थन करती है। धन्यवाद।
Point well noted, sir. I think timer का issue मुझे नहीं सबको हो रहा है. The timer isn't visible.
कभी कभी
Is the timer visible now? It is visible, but it is not working. Dave, are you here?
Yeah, working.
Please reset it. Further, we have Farooq Abdullah, sir. Please go.
On 3, 2, 1। भारत के किसान अपने लोगों के लिए लगभग 1.3 करोड़ लोगों को खिलाने के लिए पर्याप्त उत्पादन कर सकते हैं, लेकिन लाखों लोग अभी भी कुपोषित हैं देश में। देश की मिट्टी और प्राकृतिक परिस्थितियों तंत्र का गिरावट ग्रामीण समृद्धि का आधार आंशिक रूप से दोष है। इसका उन्मूलन जो एक समान और पौष्टिक रूप से सुरक्षित भविष्य के सपने से देता है, वहीं तो पहुंचे तो उससे बाहर कर रहा है। हमें बदलते मौसम को एक चुनौती के तौर पर देखते हुए और गंभीर बनाते हुए एक छोटी सी गुजारिश करना चाहूंगा सरकार से, क्योंकि छोटे भूमिधर अभी फसल उगाने के लिए संघर्ष बहुत करते हैं, तो उनसे वानिक और सिल्वर पासर जैसी खेतियों के जैसे कृषि के खेती के लिए उन्हें समर्थन करना चाहिए। लगभग 140 मिलियन हेक्टेयर में विशाल रूप से वन संरक्षण का अवसर लगभग हर साल भारत सरकार किसानों को देती है, पर उसका धरातल पे कोई नामो निशान नहीं है। हमें भारत के लिए अधिक न्यायसंगत और खाद्य प्रणाली की आवश्यकता है। आज तक कृषि भारत में निवेश से किसानों की आय में निरंतर वृद्धि नहीं हुई है, जिसका हमें रिकॉर्ड चाहिए जो हम सरकार से मांगते हैं। पर इसके लिए निरंतर प्रयास करते गए भारत सरकार किसानों की आय दोगुना करने की रणनीति विकसित करती गई, लेकिन इसके लिए प्रतिबद्ध नहीं है। जलवायु पर क्षेत्र के प्रभाव को कम करने के लिए इस सार्वजनिक प्रोत्साहन से भी बेहतर और कृषि को ढंग से डिजाइन करने की आवश्यकता है। 2016 में कृषि ने देश में उत्सर्जन का 14% प्रतिनिधित्व किया था। धन्यवाद।
सर, मैं वापस रिक्वेस्ट करना चाहूंगा कि आप अपना टाइम ओवरशूट ना करें।
सर एक्चुअली टाइमर मेरे स्क्रीन पे ब्रेक हो गया था, रुक गया था, इस वजह से मैं देख नहीं पाया।
अच्छा, चलेगा। मैं एक्चुअली टाइम स्टैम्प डालने की कोशिश करूंगा 30 सेकंड।
सर आई वाज वेटिंग कि आप सर आई वाज वेटिंग बस कि आप चैट बॉक्स में लिख लेंगे रैप अप, इस वजह से, क्योंकि ये टाइमर तो ब्रेक हो चुका था।
चलेगा। पॉइंट्स वेल नोटेड। दिलान चंद्र गोस्वामी जी यहाँ पे हैं।
धन्यवाद सभापति महोदय। आई विल बिगिन माय स्पीच इन 3, 2, 1। अभी तक सभी पार्लियामेंटेरियंस ने बातें की है टेक्नोलॉजी की, क्रॉपिंग की, फर्टिलाइजर्स की, स्कीम्स की, एप्स की, सॉफ्टवेयर्स की, पर एक बात जो हम नहीं समझ रहे हैं कि ग्रीन रेवोल्यूशन क्यों फेल हुआ था। हमने किसानों को फर्टिलाइजर दे दिया, HYV सीड्स दे दी, इरिगेशन फैसिलिटीज दे दी, पर हमने उन्हें कभी एजुकेट नहीं किया कि इनका इस्तेमाल कैसे करना है। किसानों ने HYV सीड्स यूज कर दिए, फर्टिलाइजर्स ओवर यूज कर दिए, हैंडपंप्स ओवर यूज कर दिए। उससे क्या हुआ? ग्राउंड वाटर टेबल गिरता गया, जमीन सूखी हो गई, जमीन अल्कलाइन हो गई, जमीन बहुत ज्यादा एसिडिक हो गई। तो मुझे लगता है कि माननीय प्रधानमंत्री श्री मोदी जी और निर्मला सीतारमन जी ने जो बजट पेश किया था उसमें एग्रीकल्चरल यूनिवर्सिटीज का उन्होंने मेंशन किया था। एंड मुझे लगता है कि हमें उसी स्तर पर आगे बढ़ना चाहिए और किसानों एग्रीकल्चरल लिटरेसी पे फोकस करना चाहिए। दूसरी बात ये कि हम बहुत ज्यादा उत्पादन कर रहे हैं पर हम एक्सपोर्ट नहीं कर पा रहे हैं। इसका ये क्यों हो रहा है? क्योंकि हमारे पास वेयर हाउस नहीं है, वेयर हाउस में हमारा अनाज सड़ रहा है। तो मुझे लगता है 2 मुद्दे हैं, एग्रीकल्चर लिटरेसी और वेयर हाउसिंग, जिसपे हमें फोकस करना चाहिए।
Point well noted. Further, we have A. Raja.
Yes, sir. Honorable Speaker, sir, and the members. This government is actually creating a series of what blunders they can make. In the intention of creating benchmarks, they are also breaking the existing benches of our economy. So they have finished with education and healthcare. Now they are up to agriculture. And this is a point of concern. Agriculture is our core activity in our economy. And so it is a point of concern which can lead to slow economic growth, and also development will stop with this. So I would like to say that this is a democracy and not dictatorship. So I would like to suggest, and please do consider my point, that first the MSP should be continuing and all the insurance should be guaranteed. The ownership should be protected. The technology should be introduced and the skill development with assistance should be provided to the farmers for the further growth. Thank you.
Point well noted, sir. Further, we have Giriya Singh and Mani Srinivas Reddy, sir. Your turn would be after Narendra Singh Tomar. We still have 2 speakers left before you.
सर आप रिपीट कर सकते हैं? नरेंद्र सिंह तोमर के बाद किसके बाद?
नरेंद्र सिंह तोमर के बाद आपकी टर्न है और उनके लिए 2 स्पीकर लेफ्ट है. अभी गिरिराज सिंह बोलेंगे, उसके बाद नरेंद्र सिंह तोमर, फिर आप बोलेंगे.
ओके सर, ओके, धन्यवाद.
गिरिराज सिंह सर, प्लीज गो अहेड.
Thank you for the recognition, Deputy Speaker sir. It should be pro people and not pro corporate. विपक्ष की नेत्री ने ये कहा था कुछ समय पहले. यह दिखाता है कि आप कैसे किसी सोते हुए व्यक्ति को जगा सकते हैं, पर जो व्यक्ति सोने का नाटक कर रहा है उसे जगा नहीं सकते. हमने जब विपक्ष के कई नेताओं ने बोला कि एग्रेरियन रिफॉर्म्स होने चाहिए, और जब हम 2020 में 3 एक्ट लेकर के आते हैं, the Agriculture, the Farmers Produce Trade and Commerce Promotion and Facilitation Act, the Farmers Empowerment and Protection Agreement of Price Assurance and Farm Services Act और Essential Commodities Amendment Act, जिसके थ्रू हम सेस हटाने का प्रयास करते हैं, फार्मर्स की सिचुएशन बेहतर करने का प्रयास करते हैं. विपक्ष इसका राय का $50 बिलियन के आसपास का एग्रीकल्चर एक्सपोर्ट के हम से और बढ़ाएंगे. हमने 2019 से 21 तक के बीच में हमने $1.6 बिलियन का इन्वेस्टमेंट किया एग्रीटेक में. मेड इन इंडिया के थ्रू हम एग्रीकल्चर में से और इंड्यूस करेंगे और फार्म एग्रीकल्चर रिफॉर्म्स आगे बढ़ाएंगे. धन्यवाद.
Point well noted, sir. Further, we are Narendra Singh Tomar ji.
Thank you so much for the recognition, Honorable Deputy Speaker, sir. First of all, let me tell the House that the agrarian reforms have the capacity to contribute to relieve the unemployment pressure which the country currently faces and to increase the agricultural production and productivity. Moving on, why do we need the agrarian reforms in our country at present? The main objective is the aggressive distribution of public land and the widespread use of voluntary sales and offers at the lower farm size levels can surely benefit the farmers at large. Also, it has the capacity to increase the socio-economic condition of the landless and small farmers in all the states. At the time, moving on to the needs, moving on to the solutions which I as the Union Minister possess. First solution being the technology which can be improved and the technology that can be rendered to the farmers. Basically, it means that we need to educate the farmers on the usage of technology. I was hearing one of the member of parliament few minutes back in which he was emphasizing on the need of agricultural universities. Moving on the same lines, I assure him that the government at present will work on the same way and will ensure that farmers of the country are educated. Also, at the same time, our government tries to enforce Articles 48A and 51AG of.
Point well noted, sir. Further, we have Mani Srinivas Reddy.
Hello, sir. Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
धन्यवाद डिप्टी स्पीकर महोदय. सबसे पहला ये प्रश्न पूछा गया है कि हमें एग्रीरियन रिफॉर्म्स की क्यों जरूरत है. तो हम इसका उत्तर यह देना चाहेंगे, बिकॉज इंडिया इज ए कृषि प्रधान कंट्री. भारत एक कृषि प्रधान देश है. लेकिन आपको यह लगता है कि ये भारत की जो कितनी अच्छी क्यों नहीं है जितनी हो सकती थी. क्यों? क्योंकि इसके पीछे बहुत से कारण हैं. उसमें से कुछ कारण यह है कि रिफॉर्म्स की हमें जरूरत है बिकॉज देयर इज अ ह्यूज डिफरेंस बिटवीन रिच एंड पुअर फार्मर. लैंड डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन में प्रॉब्लम है और आजकल तो यह भी प्रॉब्लम है कि 2 जून की रोटी एक गरीब किसान नहीं अफोर्ड कर पा रहा है. इसीलिए हमें यह लैंड रिफॉर्म्स की जरूरत है और इसके सॉल्यूशंस ये हो सकते हैं: मॉडर्नाइजेशन ऑफ एग्रीकल्चर, एंड ये सब तो ठीक है एक तरीके से, लेकिन सबसे ज्यादा जरूरी है अवेयरनेस, एजुकेशन टू फार्मर्स, बिकॉज वो यदि पढ़ेंगे ही नहीं तो जानेंगे क्या, और यदि जानने के लिए उन्हें रीजनल लैंग्वेज में सबसे ज्यादा बताया जाना चाहिए। धन्यवाद।
Point well noted. Is Hardeep Singh here? Is Hardeep Singh here? The petroleum and housing minister.
Yes, I am. Hello.
Can you check the chat?
Yeah.
Rahul Gandhi, to what point you write?
The point of parliamentary inquiry. I was hoping that we could have a question hour after this session was complete.
After this session,
As in when we break for lunch, the first session that we start after, can we have a question hour?
okay. So before this, that is on the discretion of the speaker, and it would be informed to you by half an hour.
Okay.
Like during the lunch hour, we will inform the speaker.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
So we have labs with 70 speakers, and we shall have 8 for 3 speakers. I will be recognizing only 3 speakers. Those who are wishing to speak, please raise your hand. And I would also like to emphasize that those who haven't spoken in the committee yet, please go ahead and speak. I would be preferring to recognize you rather than the ones who have already spoken.
Point of personal privilege. Can you repeat what you just said? I couldn't hear you.
We still have space for 3 speakers, and I request everyone to raise their hands to be recognized. And I would like to emphasize on the point that I would prefer speakers who haven't spoken yet.
Thank you, sir.
सर जिन्होंने बोल लिया है वो भी हैंड रेज करेंगे दोबारा बोलने के लिए, उनको भी आप रिकॉग्नाइज करेंगे, या फिर जिन्होंने नहीं किया है
मैं वैसे
उनके
सबको
लिए?
रिकॉग्नाइज करूंगा, बट मैं प्रेफरेंस उनको दूंगा जिन्होंने ऑलरेडी बोला नहीं है।
ओके सर।
क्योंकि सबको इक्वल चांस मिलना चाहिए बोलने का मेरे को। हरिश्चंद्र कौर बाबू।
Yeah. Just a minute.
Followed by Piyush Goyal. Followed by Mohammed Ali Ashraf Hassan. Parliamentarians, you can go ahead.
I could not hear you. Can you repeat?
Sir, you are recognized for speaking. You are the first speaker now. Yeah.
Delegates, check the chat box where the recognitions are being put there.
May I start?
Yes, please go ahead.
Agriculture.
Can you reset the timer? Please go ahead.
Thanks for giving me a chance to speak. Agriculture, the modern terminology which generalizes.
Harsimrat Kaur Badal, Piyush Goyal, Mohammed Ali Ashraf Fatmi.
Yeah.
मोहम्मद अली आपको रिकॉग्नाइज कर लिया?
Nani Mohi Karunidhi ji, to what point did you write?
Kanmozi Karunidhi. Do you have a point, or are you raising your hand for speaking?
These speakers have been recognized. The three speakers have been recognized. We have space for only three speakers.
Okay.
Can you please lower your hand? Harsinder Kaur Badal ji, please go ahead.
Thank you for giving me this chance to speak. In India, prior to green revolution, which ramped up to the production and wealth and paddy, in the late 1950s and early 60s, agriculture was unable to sustain the country's growing population. Now it is sustaining the main things. I can't see the timer. Hello, excuse me. Hello,
Sir, please go ahead. I am maintaining the time.
I can't see.
Yes, sir, I am maintaining the time. I will put up the time in the channel.
Yeah.
Or sir, you
In India,
can
prior to
restart
the
the speech. You can restart the speech. The timer is back.
okay. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to speak in front of you. Agriculture, the modern terminology, which generalize economic activities ranging from farming to animal husbandry, has been failure of global economy before paying the industrial revolution, as seen through the development of economics around the globe. Development begins with the people adopting agriculture, and the primary sector becomes the largest employer. Agriculture, which was started in early times, now it has been grown to very much long things. We grow many things and we export. We need to export the agriculture and by storing in the farmhouses so that we can increase the export and increase the farmer, and we need to give farmer the education and the many things and the many things to speak and learn from farmers, learn the farmers and make the right use of the agriculture by giving them everything right, the knowledge of.
Points well noted, delegates. Further, we have Piyush Goyal.
Good afternoon, Deputy Speaker. I am Piyush Goyal. So my topic is why do we need agrarian reform in our society? Because we all knows we need changes in our life. That logic same goes with agrarian reforms too. We need changes in technology. We need changes in policies. A policy, there is no all in fit policy that can run in every time in every situation. That is why we need. And I just wanted to note the point. Just wanted to say some point that we not only focus on the just health, bread, clean environment and income. We also focus on the what is the conclusion after it. See, we have different policies that is like our our country is suffering from many agriculture badness, like we have also focused on tea industries. We have also some schemes like Kisan Samman Nidhi Yojana. We have schemes for organic farming like Paramparagat Krishi Vikas Yojana and also Mission Organic Value Chain. Thank you.
Points well noted, sir. Further, we have Mohammed Ali Ashraf. Please go ahead.
Thank you for giving me this opportunity. I'm here to talk about why do we actually need the agricultural reforms. Firstly, it might be for having some changes, and also that some farmers actually protest against it because it is actually not in the favor with them. Because of the middlemen working and the traders eating the money, it's hampering them, and the money they actually deserve is not being provided. Thank you.
Point
Yeah, so thank you so much, everyone. With this, I've been told that Madam was our last speaker, and therefore we are done with her. Seeking a motion to adjourn the committee and reassemble post lunch. So it's almost 1 now, so we are expected to reassemble by 2. Okay.
Okay.
So I'm seeking a motion, waiting for a motion. If someone can please. Yeah, Pradhan Mantri ji.
A motion to adjourn the current session and move for lunch.
Nahin. You say motion to adjourn the current and reconvene 2 o'clock.
Motion to adjourn the current session and reconvene at 2 p.m.
Perfect. Those in favor may raise their hands. Huh? All right. That's the most number of votes I have seen delivered since the morning. 20 people voted. Thank you so much, everyone. Just before we leave, I have been told that you people had some sort of questions, point of orders or inquiries.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So, Baki, rest all of you, kindly put down your hands. Only those people who are having some sort of an issue, let me know, please.